Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Sports Rundown Friday BETALONG. How's everybody getting on?
Good.
Yeah, good, Albie.
I like the way Lee just slinked in there just as you were starting.
Yes.
Just about.
DMs.
It's going to jump off the balcony with these IT issues. It's shocking.
Wouldn't be a Friday night if we didn't have IT issues.
Yeah, at least we kind of got the start right. But anyway, what are you drinking there, Lee? What Polish?
Just the usual check. The usual check. Well, actually, not the usual. I mean, one of the rotations. I'm going on to the classic Tisky after this. So
I actually had Tisky once over Christmas, and I could barely get out of bed the next day. I don't know, it just did not go down well.
Yeah, it hits me hard on the
Polish are underrated, like.
For sure. What's the tipples of choice over there?
I'm staying dry tonight.
Yeah? Why's that?
Yeah.
This weekend?
Yeah, plan on doing a run in the morning, so I know I won't do it if I have a few cans. So
Is it still like minus 12 over there, Gary?
Running into the kitchen, Gary?
Huh?
Run into the kitchen.
Yeah, it could be. There's a few Asahis in the fridge, so I might go, depending on how my bets are going by half time, I might be in getting a bottle, but yeah, I'm going to try and stay away.
Yeah.
Speaking of which...
Oh, go ahead, go on.
No, go on, Albie.
No, I was just going to say, somebody want to run us through the Friday ACA. We've a few bets picked out in a row. I think most of them will be live at the minute, or at least two of them, so might as well get them out there, and we're not accused of pulling the slats on it and after time in a win.
Yeah.
Do you want to go slats, or do you want me to do it?
Yeah, no, I'll go through it, yeah. So it's a 13-1 shot. We 4 legs. So one from myself, one from LB, one from Gary, and one from PK. And combined, hopefully, we get the 4 of them in at 13-1. So, Gary, you went with Blackburn to beat Preston. That's just kicked off. Blackburn are 10-11. So, yeah, it's 5 minutes in. There's no score yet. But you had good justification for it. I have all the justification just in a short article up on the Sports Rundown website. But, yeah, I mean, everything you said, like, I think Blackburn have won 5 of their last 8. Preston 5 of their last 8. And even the teams Preston beaten are like the second from bottom and the third from bottom, so they haven't been doing a whole lot.
I think the key thing for me was Preston's lack of goals, really, like, you know. So if Blackburn got 1 up, it's nearly a banker, like, you know, that way. So that's what
2 goals in the last 5 games or something.
Yeah. So
Blackburn have scored.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Blackburn score, and then as I said, the fact that Preston have been struggling for goals lately, that's what's wrong for me. And then I'll favour Bradley Dack on the way back from injury. So
Bologna, you've just got 1 up, by the way, in the SerieA game. Nice and early, 4 minutes in, 5 minutes in. So you want to quickly run over that bet for us, lads?
Yeah. Well, again, it's up on the website, so I mean,
Bologna just scored in the first 10 minutes.
We can't be accused of after timing, but it was a pretty safe shot anyway. 4-6 for there to be over 2.5 goals, and that's looking very likely now with an early goal. So that's a good start for that one. And again, like, the stats were looking pretty solid. I know I sometimes find it risky when you're leaning heavily on 2 teams that concede a lot. But you had mentioned in the stats you had dug out for it that they're both over 1 goal per game on it. Certainly recently Benevento are, and you know,
I mean, they score a lot. They just concede an awful lot more, so I think it's pretty safe. Yeah.
The third leg of it is Hearts away to Queen of the South. Hearts are dominating the championship there, so you know, they're massive odds on. They're like 3-10 to win that match. They beat them 6-1 the last game, and just to get a bit of value in it, I did over 2.5 goals. So it's like 8-11 for Hearts to win over 2.5 goals. And then PK reckoned Elche are going to get a result that's out to Vigo tonight. Even though Elche are like second from bottom, I think they're 19th in the league. They're only 8 points behind Celta with 2 games in hand, so you kind of fancied that, you know, it's a bit closer than it looks on paper. And then Celta on brutal form. They haven't won this year yet. Like, I think it's 3 draws and 4 defeats in the last 7 games since the start of the year. So just with the expectation of that poor run continuing, it's pretty decent value for double chance for Elche at 13-8. So that definitely puts the odds up to 13-1. So yeah, I mean, we're off to a good start there.
Doesn't seem to tally at all with that 6-1 available for Elche. It just seems odd, but yeah.
No, Elche's form hasn't been great either. Like, I mean, they've been drawn and losing. They've a win or two there this year, all right. Like, but you know, they're not great either. But yeah, I definitely think a draw could be on the cards there, and it wouldn't be 6-1. Does seem a bit generous for them to sneak a win too. It's kicking off at 8:00, I think, is it? Obviously the SerieA game is kicked off early, and then the Scottish game, I think, is. Oh yeah, it's 7 minutes in now already. It's still 0-0. So I'll be hoping.
I'm actually very surprised that the Scottish game hasn't been called off with the amount of snow that's been up kind of north. I was expecting it to get called off and kind of wreck or wreck it, but I'm happy it's on.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to eat those words later now as they win 2-0.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. You mentioned, Gary, that that article that Slats mentioned in the bet slip, if you want to jump on with us, it's available in the chat.
So we put it in the chat there, and then as we suggest our bets throughout the evening, we'll put the bet slip in as well. So anybody who wants to get involved with us can follow suit.
Nice.
Speaking of which, the £20 challenge, I'm going to blatantly after time here and say that I wanted to get on a first half goal in the Bologna game, and due to our intro, haven't been able to do that. And just back the Serie B game, Monza versus Pisa, and over the first half goal of that game at 4-11 is going to be my first bet. I was going to get that on there before it kicks off. That's all right.
Yeah, so just to let our viewers know what that £20 challenge, or €20 in my case. So yeah, we're just kind of competing against each other really, but ideally we'll all, come out with a few quid, starting with 20 quid. We can lump it on one bet, or we can kind of spread it out, roll it throughout the night, and just kind of manage to come out at the end of the night with the most profit. So whoever goes ahead of that pushes the others into maybe taking a bit of a chance toward the end of the night to try and take the lead.
Yeah. Are you going to join this one, Lee? Or are you going to sit it out?
No, I'm trying to keep a lid on my frustration here with with the amount of issues I have at the moment. But I'm definitely in though. I just need to get set up a bit more.
I'm in the same boat now. Have a lot of technical issues when it comes time to putting bets on. Seem to always have something or the other, so I probably won't be as active as the lads, but definitely going to try and get involved. Kind of sick I didn't do a first half goal in that SerieA one as well.
What odds was it for the first half goal? Did you check those odds, guys?
I had it loaded on my bet slip. It was 4-11, and it went. So it's still 4-11 for over 1.5 now. But when you miss something like that, I just don't like to do it.
Chase and move.
I had the two games prepped, the two SerieA games with the stats. So my backup was always going to be like go to the Monza game. Monza have scored first in 80% of their games. They've been leading at halftime in 60% of their games, and Pisa have conceded in something like 90% of their games. So I'm hoping all that combined leads to there being a first half goal.
You went 2 first half goals in the Serie B last week, Gary. You're not tempted to do the same?
Well, I was, but there was one stat that kept me from that, and that was in the Pisa game, only 18% of the time has the other team scored in both halves, and in only 60% of the games the team scored in the first half. So I'm thinking it would more align to a second half Monza goal potentially if Pisa put all their men behind the ball. So that's
I'm after getting on Leipzig here. Sorry to cut across you, Gary, just in case a goal goes in while you're yapping away there. So I've thrown a tenner as my first bet on Leipzig to be leading at half time. They've all the shots so far. They've 6 shots, only 1 on target. They're 3-10 to win the game, but they're 6-4 now to be winning at half time. So I have a tenner on that to win to get 25 back.
I'm gonna put 11 on that.
Sorry. Oh, it's actually suspended now.
Oh,
No, Slack. That's all I know. I already have FOMO from not getting on the bet yet, and the goal already going in Italy. Don't be telling me you fucking.
Did you get it on stats?
Yeah, I'm on it. I'm
Oh,
matched. Yeah.
Class.
I mean, it hasn't done anything yet. It's looking like a yellow card to Augsburg, so maybe a penalty, but it hasn't.
Fingers crossed. I mean, Slats, in fairness, you introduced this little initiative and said, well, hopefully we all leave with money at the end of the night. But in all honesty, I'm going to be quite selfish in this game and hope I leave with money. And that's going to guarantee the fact. No, I won't.
Expect anything less, Lee.
Yeah.
I mean, you can still win money and we win less money. We don't have to lose our money for you to be happy, right?
I thought it was one of these zero-sum things, right? I can only win if you lose.
Yeah, lay the other person's bets. I'm going to go in.
No, whoever makes the most profit. Man.
No, I mean, we're going to bring in that head-to-head betting next week. I think might talk about it later. We're kind of thinking up a new
slightly new format. Yeah. What price did you say they were to be winner at halftime?
6-4.
It's 2.2 on the exchange, so like just outside evens to get just to be a first half goal.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
That feels like much better value.
Yeah, I'm doing that. I'm putting 15, which is my bank, on that. I won't include it in the head-to-head because it feels awfully like I've swiped your bet, but I'm definitely doing that.
I mean, I know they're big.
Yeah.
Say that again, Lee.
27 minutes gone in that game.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Just outside the evens.
2.2. I know it's like 2.8 for Leipzig to be winning. So I mean, I suppose there's a bit of a swing there, but Jesus, definitely seems like more value.
Yeah, but I suppose if it probably backs out, like that, if there's going to be a goal, it's almost certainly going to be Leipzig.
Yeah, and even the way it's going, and the pre-game odds, like
yeah.
I'm actually just trying to get the game on, so we can track it properly.
I
see it's back from suspension anyway. Slats.
What is it? Yeah,
it's back from suspension anyway, so there was no goal.
No, it was just a yellow card for Augsburg and some injury. I don't know if it led to a bloody substitution now for Leipzig or anything. No, he hasn't gone off, but one of their players was injured for a minute.
The Celta Vigo game is just kicking off as well for anyone who's interested in watching that. Or the Elche game from our point of view.
Do we need a confirmation of that pronunciation, or are we happy
Elche.
with it? Yeah,
I'm happy with it. I mean,
I was about to call out the Leipzig as well, but I said I'd let it go.
There's been a few. I mean, Slats was confident, right? He let us out confidently. No one's questioned, but
I heard somebody say call it Elche earlier on, and that sounds like something when you step in something that you don't want to step in. Well, I actually missed the Leipzig one. Who made that? Hopefully it wasn't me.
No, I think it was.
I said Leipzig. I don't know. I don't know. That's wrong, is it?
I don't speak German. So.
Well, yeah, I never did any German classes in school now, but I would have always called them Leipzig.
If anyone in the comments can speak German, by all means, tell us.
Yeah, harp on.
Their stats are wrong or
phonetically.
You just went. You just think it looks like Leipzig Slats. You never actually heard it called that.
No, I mean, if I heard, I'm sure I've heard it at some stage. I don't remember what I heard. So yeah, I was just reading it as it was in front of me.
Fair enough. Leipzig.
That is fair enough.
Yeah, we'll have to check that for next week now.
The same game multi, by the way, that's on the screen momentarily for our viewers. We've got this on in the Bologna game, and we were very close. Oh no, we actually did indeed add Benevento. I thought they're actually a good price for the win, but that 1-0 early conceded goal is not going to help things there at all. But yeah, it's all Bologna at the minute. Absolutely.
You were kind of suggesting both teams to score as well, weren't you, LB?
I was, yeah. But actually, if you remember it, when I sent it on to these lads, I said that both teams to score is my pick, but it's slightly better price for over 2.5, and there's really only one score line that is going to catch you out. And the last time they met in Bologna smashed them 3-0. So I just thought it would be an awful kick in the backside if that happened again. So I went for that. I do think Benevento have a good chance. They've kind of been playing better and better the last few weeks, even if the results haven't really gone their way. So we'll see. First 12 minutes now, they haven't done a huge amount though. So Bologna fans will be a lot happier, and people who didn't back Benevento will be happier too. Yeah.
But you're watching that game live, are you, Albie?
Yeah, yeah.
Actually, I meant to query the Premier Sports, as I was saying to you last week. Like they want to be stream it, they'll only have to watch it on the TV. So
you can't watch it on your sort of Sky Go or anything?
No, so you could only watch it on the Sky Box because I've signed up that way, which is frustrating. Like,
yeah. Benevento actually had a great chance there, so this game is starting to come back around. Hopefully. Yeah, we're not plugging anybody on the show, really. We're certainly not getting paid promotion, but that Premier Sports is a great service if you're into your Italian or Spanish football.
Right, I'm going to throw a fiver on a 1-1 draw in the Sabadell Goza game. That's just kicked off. It's 6.2 on the exchange, like just over 5-1.
That's a bold
one I was thinking, I'll tell you now, I was thinking of putting it into the group backup, or even just a draw, but you know the way a draw is such a horrible bet to be kind of cheering on as part of a joint accumulator. Sabadell, who are home, have drawn 4 of their last 5 games they've drawn. The other one, they won 1-0. And in fact, the 2 before that as well.
Benevento just hit the inside of the post. Oh, God.
Oh, Leipzig got a great shout there.
Oh, yeah.
Should be both bets could be nearly in by now.
Penalty.
Is it a penalty?
Leipzig penalty, yeah.
I thought it was one a couple of minutes ago. That's the job. Yeah,
maybe not. Maybe I'm just behind, but it looked a penalty.
No, I think you're right. It's it's up. Odds for the first penalty are the usual 2-9 to score, 3-1 to miss.
Class.
We all know what happened last week when we started talking about those odds.
Yeah.
Still not over it.
Maybe not. I don't think it is. Maybe it was. Maybe. I don't know.
Who's our authoritative source on the Leipzig game or the Leipzig game? By the way, bad news in the Preston match. Blackburn are losing 1-0. So,
yeah, I'm just watching it here.
Well, at least there's plenty
Preston,
of action.
who can't score, have just scored an absolute cracker. Like, lovely goal.
So this match should actually be
2-1. Not what I wanted to see, though.
Could be 2-1 Benevento already. So I'm actually feeling an awful lot better about my prediction earlier on. But sorry,
that's not
we cut you off, Slats. You got a 1-1 prediction.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Will we wait for the Leipzig penalty to be taken, or will I go ahead? Sure, go ahead. Yeah, so Sabadell, it's actually amazing. They've drawn 6 out of their last 7 games. Only 2 of those have been 1-1, a 2-1, and a couple of nil-alls there as well. But yeah, 6 out of 7. And then the head-to-head between these two, last time was 0-0, the time before that was 0-0, then a 1-0 and a 2-0. So their last 4 games have finished in draws. They're side by side in the league, 17th and 18th. So the draw, you know the way normally, like it's rare enough, I think, that you see a draw for under 2-1, but it was only 13-8 for the draw. I didn't want to back a 0-0 just because, 1 goal goes in and your bet's dead. So I said I just go with the draw. You look like something's going on there that you're watching.
Leipzig just missed the penalty.
They missed it.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to hide my disappointment.
Your joy, your sheer joy at my bet going down the toilet.
I was actually cheering it on, but that's mad, the fact that we've been on stream 2 weeks in a row and 2 penalties have been missed when we've talked about the in-running odds.
3-1, I know. We could be making a bit of money.
About 5 minutes before. Yeah, I'm a bit behind, but it must have been a good 3 or 4 minutes between the penalty being given and I'm actually taking it.
There's VAR in progress for something now. I wonder, is it to do with that penalty? Like the keeper might have been off his line. Are you where are you in that game, Gary? It's just like 36 minutes 45 seconds now.
Sorry, I flicked off it there. Yeah.
It looks like they're retaking the penalty.
50 seconds.
You did, yeah. That's.
My stream has broke up, so I'm waiting on that to come back. But I'm on a bookie side here.
He did come off his line.
William Hill.
Is that what's going on? I'm trying to look at it on Bet365, and now it's showing like penalty going the other direction for Augsburg, but the odds don't match what they're showing. Let me see. Oh yeah, Leipzig scored.
That's the thing. He definitely would have anything.
What is it? He stepped off his line, Lee, is it?
Yeah, and then dived. But like, that wasn't a penalty anyway. No way. I mean, he swung wildly, but he didn't touch him, right?
That's been a good minute for us anyway, lads. Your bet's in, my bet's in. Nice. Pisa have just scored. So
oh, sweet.
7 minutes and that came in. So we're time to start rolling.
Yeah, I might chance getting on Hearts to be winning at halftime, but they're not. They've only 2 shots off target the first 23 minutes. They're dominating the attacks and that, but I thought I was expecting them to be dominating more and have more shots. I don't know if you heard any of that drama, LB, but Leipzig got a penalty, missed it,
and then scored.
Well, VAR got them to retake it or whatever. Yeah, the keeper came off his line. We took it, scored. So your bet's in. My bet is looking decent.
Looking pretty decent, yeah. I was.
And then at the same time as the Leipzig goal, there was a Pisa goal as well. So
lovely.
Both mine and Slats is in.
Yeah.
Well, it's LB's is in because he just backed the goal. I have them to be winning at half time, so there's still a chance.
Oh, right. Yeah.
An unlikely chance. But
you went adventurous.
I actually thought to
you
back.
You were 6-4, Slats, were you?
6-4, yeah.
Okay. And then, LB, what odds did you get on your bet?
11-10, 6-5, maybe 2.2 on the exchange. So,
nice.
Yeah. Seemed an awful lot safer, but anyway, we got it. What have you got left? 8 minutes, that's not even 6.
Cash out is there. I can take 13 out of 15. I don't know. I didn't gotta let it run, I think.
Yeah. I put 15 on and won 18, so I'm happy with that. I'm very tempted to do it in the Bologna game. Do it another half goal. Benevento it's all Benevento now, but you know when you see those sort of.
I was just going to do it as well. 8-11 for another first half goal, which seems generous enough.
Putting some I actually think it could be a Bologna goal. Benevento are just throwing a lot of men up, which seems very adventurous for not even halfway through the first half. 1.9 now for another one. I think I'm going to put 10 on that.
Considering you were in there first, I'll let you have it, but that was my thinking as well.
I don't know if I'm really in the competition tonight, Gary, to be honest, because I did basically just copy Slats' bet and take a safe.
You're grand. No, I mean, it wasn't a direct copy. You just did a goal.
Go ahead, LB.
Go on, I'm plowing in then.
Go on, plow in. No bear, man.
It's no point holding back.
There's such a temptation to just roll the whole bank onto this. But I won't. I'm going to do 10. Stop being greedy.
So I'm the virgin tonight.
I'm going to stick with Serie B then, and I'm going to roll in my profit. So £7.28 on another goal in the first half there, 4-9.
Right, I've done half my profit, so I won 18. I put 12 of it onto a second goal in this Bologna game. It looks like it's actually a great game. In fairness, really entertaining. But yep. What was it you, Lee, sent on during the week the penalty, the miss, and the stupid run up?
Yeah.
The Bruno run up.
Yeah.
Oh, that was absolutely diabolical. I do love to see a player make a big stupid run up and then miss.
I mean,
it really brings a smile to my face.
It had everything. Like, it had the long run. It had the quick start and the slow down, the waddle, the fucking almost stop before he hit the ball.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Probably the only penalty I've seen that's worse than that this season was the Ademola Lookman one, where he tried to dink it down the middle, but that was awful really bad. Yeah. But I just don't understand why players do them. Like they just I don't think the adulation of scoring a decent penalty is worth the embarrassment of missing it. But maybe that's why I'm not a pro footballer.
I agree with you though. Yeah, you look like such a clown for when you do miss it. That why not just there's no need for them to do it. Surely they can, finish a penalty without that sort of shite.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm gonna go. So what did you do? Another goal in the Bologna Benevento game?
I'm on that. Yeah.
I've done. Yeah, sorry, and I've done the Pisa game, first half goal, no first half goal there.
So I'm gonna stick a tenner on that, on no more goals in the first half.
No more goals.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this aggressive.
Which game have you picked there, Lee?
Bologna Benny.
Oh, you absolute. It's 2-0 Leipzig, by the way, so Slats' bet is in.
It's 2-0 Pisa as well. Go on.
You got on that, Gary, did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's two first half goals in the Serie B for us last week and this week.
Which is mad because Monza are like second in the table in the Serie A, and Pisa are 11th. So it definitely wasn't expected. It was even at 1-0 down. Monza were still favourites in the game. Monza were even money, and I think Pisa were 13-8 with 1 goal differential. So it's changed now 8-15 and 4-1. But 8-15, like for a team that's 2-0 up, is fairly it's big odds.
We definitely talked on that last season. Like the odds in those lower leagues don't make sense at all. Like they're not pricing them as if they're watching them. I think they just have their kind of pre-game odds and just let them run, because there's no way. Like that league is way too close to Serie B. They're not. Monza, they're good now, but they had a pretty poor spell. They kind of want to go run at the minute. So I don't know if I think they're being flattered by those odds, to be honest.
Right, you're going to see my degenerate side come out now. Back in 2 more goals in the Breda Blick Lechner game.
Oh God, he was
Is
on
that the right
Google Translate for
pronunciation?
that.
Yeah.
In the Icelandic League Cup, they're winning 2-0. The amount of shots, Jesus! Like there's been like 13 shots on target and 14 shots off target. It's 57 minutes in. They're up 2-0. So, yeah, I mean, you wouldn't know. They could just like sit back and go to sleep. But it's even money for another 2 goals. So I'm going in on it. I have 15 on that now at evens.
It just feels like some reach to go for 2 goals. But
I didn't mean to laugh in your face.
With half an hour left, I know. If I get one, well, there's a little over half an hour. If I get one before 70 minutes, and then they'll be getting tired, another one will come in. It's just the away team, they're down 2-0. But I mean, they've had 6 shots with 4 on target themselves. So I don't know. I mean, it looks like they could get one themselves.
I feel like when you give out your bet Slats, there should be a big gamble aware thing come up on the banner and just let people know.
There is somewhere on screen. That's just for
there has to be.
Slats' bets.
We'll have to get him for his birthday, just a little banner that goes on his back wall there, just gamble aware.
You see the studios with the on air and it kind of flashes red. Like Slats should just be gamble aware, flashing behind.
It doesn't matter if the bet wins, so it can be women's Dutch football or whatever I want it to be.
I love how you're always throwing the women's football out there like you don't watch it.
Yeah,
well, I'm actually surprised. There's a Manchester derby on in the women's football tonight. I was expecting Slats to have an angle there.
I mean, of course, I looked at it, and I don't know if I believe the stats for the women's football anyway, but it shows that there's been 1 shot in the first half. That shot was on target. It was a goal. So, what can you do there? I mean, you can't really go back in more goals.
I don't believe that. I never see that 1 shot on target goal.
I don't, the way Bet365, they call anything a dangerous attack. If you get the ball into the opponent's half, it's a dangerous attack. It's saying that there's been 3 dangerous attacks in the first half. So I think somebody went to sleep or went to the jacks or something, and they're not counting the.
Yeah, and in fact, just because of the goal, there had to be a shot, and therefore it was on target. That's the way
exactly. Yeah.
So
now they have corners and yellow cards look kind of reasonable, and it's been suspended now for some reason. But I'm staying away from it, not because it's women's football, but just because the odds. The stats don't look good.
Yeah, I just placed my bet there, my next one, while you were talking, Slats. So I've gone over half a goal in the Queen of the South and Hearts game. So 30 minutes gone there. Hoping for Hearts to get one. They were long odds on favourite before the game. They've had kind of the majority of the possession, 73% of possession. They've had 4 corners, so not watching the game live, but they look to be fairly all over them. So I'm hoping they can sneak one the next 15 minutes. It was 5-4 for over half a goal. So I put all my profit, my whole £10.52 on them at 5-4 to win 23.67. Be back to square one if there's no goal before half time.
I can take most of my stake back in this Bologna match. I'm getting really tempted.
Leah's after jinxing your big time.
Really, yeah, no, I can't believe he did that to me. I don't think there's been a shot since.
Shape is a thing of beauty.
They had
they barely kicked the ball.
Yeah, they've done not like it was all Benevento, and they were kind of playing death. Look at that hoof. There was the corner. I thought there might have been something about the corner, but then this is. Oh God.
Don't do that. Right, so just in the interest of transparency, I have a tenner on over 1.5 goals in Celta Vigo, and a tenner on under or no more goals in that first half in Benevento. That's what I need. Something.
Celta Vigo that's not first half goals, Lee. That's just total game goals.
Total game, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Nice.
1.5.
1.5.
Yeah, you'd expect that. It looks like there's been a few shots there already.
Just now that you bring up the La Liga, I was reading the thing today in the papers about Suarez and Barcelona getting rid of him. It seems like one of the biggest mistakes I've ever heard of any sports team making. The effort they went to get rid of him for free and pay his wages.
What's the problem?
I think they just didn't like him anymore. You know what I mean? Over there, the presidents get real kind of pissy about things. So
I actually saw a thing about that as well, LB. So, like, John, is Suarez top goal scorer? And I think Rakitic has like 15 goals or something as well this season.
Yeah.
So, and like Barcelona basically forced the two of them out in the summer. It's weird. Like
Suarez has more goals than Barcelona's 5 sort of nominated strikers combined this season. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think they say the last 3 players they sold to Atletico won the league in their first season or something. I read that. There was a tweet now, so it could be absolutely made up. But
it's madness. If you had said 3 seasons ago that Diego Costa would be a free agent, Rakitic and Suarez would be forced out of Barcelona, nobody would have believed you, and all those things are happening. It's just
this one had a clip. They showed a clip of the basically the Barcelona hierarchy drew up a list of clubs that he basically said, if I'm leaving for free. Otherwise, I'm not leaving, and you can just pay me for the rest of my days. So they said, fine, but we drew up a list of clubs you can't move to, kind of in a way. Like obviously Madrid was there. I forget some of the other clubs that were on the list. PSG,
probably any of the likely Champions quarterfinalists.
Yeah, and they forgot to put Atletico on the list. Right, so they had the press conference, and I forget his name, the Barcelona president, was reading out the list, and someone in the crowd went like, "What about Atletico?" And you could just see his face going, "Oh shit!" And then they tried to renege on the contract and cancel it, and Suarez just said, "I'll never play again. I'll sit on the bench and I'll take my salary, and that's it." So in the end, then they had to leave him go. But you're just like, how amateurish are you that you don't there's only 2 rivals for them in that league, and you don't put one of them on the list of prohibited clubs. Oh, it's insane.
Yeah, they were just Real on the brain,
Yeah.
Rita Blick just scored a 3rd goal there, so that's decent.
You're halfway there, so
halfway there, yeah. Plenty of time left. It's like 64th minute. They've gone 3-0 up, so just need
Benevento have a lovely break here, but the fact the game's not gone suspended, I want to say that they fuck it up somewhere. Yeah, there.
That's the worst thing about having the bookies websites open tonight.
Yeah.
In your head, you're just like, I would score this goal, and then they don't score.
Yeah, that was actually a good shot in the end. The keeper just had it kind of was well positioned.
How long left in that half, Lemo? I had to turn it off. I couldn't take the pressure. I was my anxiety was going through the roof. No more goals. This is
it's an awful bet. It's an absolutely awful bet.
Oh, it's a shocker. I'm just after sticking a fiver on what?
Cashed out?
No, I left it there.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying you're cashing out of it.
I left it there, but I just had to turn it off, because LB was
turned it off. I thought you said you tried it.
Yeah, no, I turned it off. But I'm just after sticking a fiver on no more goals in Preston Blackburn and 5-1.
For someone who like, it's too
I
stressful.
know
I can't
it's
do it,
hard.
but I'm gonna do it again on another match. It's
Yeah,
good
why
prices
not?
though. Yeah, it's still 33 and a bit gone now. 34 gone now in the SerieA. So
Yeah.
11 minutes.
I mean, I think there's only been one shot on target in that game. Two shots in total. So
In the
But then-
SerieA, you have a lot of chances though. They just didn't really turn into shots. But I mean, I absolutely wish I hadn't this bet on now. If I was going to be quite honest about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of regretting the Hearts one as well. Like, they're still dominating the game.
yeah,
But
a horrible night though.
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even realize I was looking around the small screen, and then I put it on a slightly bigger screen, and it's absolutely bucketing down in Bologna as well, which always makes you feel a bit funny for a goals bet. But yeah,
I know, but there's always a chance of a keeper's mistake or something like that.
Of course, yeah, always.
There's been some chances missed in this match as well, like scuffed
We've
balls.
got
I do
one
think
time.
statistically the weather, like bad weather, brings goals down quite a lot.
Speaking of bringing things down, my bet on Blackburn is currently the one that's knocking our Friday ACA.
Not looking any better, no?
No, they've kind of huffed and puffed, but they haven't really created any chances. I'm watching it here. My hero, Bradley Dack, did appear on screen, and his flow and locks are looking a lot better than mine are. So it was good to see him back on the pitch.
What hairspray do you use, Gary, to keep all that in shape?
Yeah.
Man, I'm actually like a sheep at the moment. I'm telling you. So, but
suits you.
I don't know how all these professional footballers been able to keep well groomed during lockdown.
I went back to my old way and cut my own hair again. So I'm wearing the cap tonight. Did a very
we have to put that back out.
You're cutting that Tasher off as well.
No, you have it back. You said you should get it back. Delighted you have it back.
The tash, yeah. That's to just distract from the haircut.
Guys, come here. No, I'm just asking because it's a bit dark there. Is that a turtleneck you're wearing as well? Like going for the Parisian look?
No, it's not. It's just a zip top.
I'm waiting for Gary to take out like a cigarette on one of those big long Cruella de Vil kind of things.
I think I'm matched on.
Today I wear a turtleneck on the stream is the day you can never speak to me again.
Man, I've wanted to buy a turtleneck for years. I've like repeated girlfriends have talked me out of it. So I still haven't bought one because I don't have the confidence to do it. But
I bought one once and then I wore it and I just thought, no, there's a reason people don't wear these.
Is there an issue with them though? Like
I look like a sausage in it, to be honest.
I bought one years ago for golf. And I bought this like sleeveless top and a kind of turtleneck to go underneath it. So I went home and I put it on, and my mom saw it and she was like, "Are you wearing that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "You're not." And then, like, she took it off me and she wore it playing golf. Wouldn't let me do it. She was like, "I'm not letting you do it." It was a low point in my life.
Yeah, that's tough.
Here, I'm on ton here. Doing a PK style double chance bet. They're down 1-0 in the Swiss Challenge League at home to the Grasshoppers. Ton are first, Grasshoppers are second, so it's obviously a big game in that league. And like Grasshoppers have had one shot on target and they're winning 1-0. They've had 4 shots with 1 on target. Ton have had 11 shots with 5 on target. So I'm just thinking balance of things. They're like,
what's another goal there? That's pretty.
Another goal is only it's 4-7. It was 2-5 when I looked a couple of minutes ago. It's 4-7 now. But yeah, they seem to be dominating the shot stats. So I've just put a 5 on it to win 10. It's 2-1.
Nice. I'm gonna wait now. I'm same boat as Gary. I'm back to where I started. If this doesn't happen, and if there is a goal, I'll be a little bit up. So I'm gonna wait, see how this thing pans out.
Yeah, I'm tempted to reinvest somewhere along the line, but I've got 4 minutes to hold out till halftime here, so I'm gonna.
That's in the Hearts game, Gary, is it?
Hold it in the Hearts game, yeah. 4 minutes till halftime.
Yeah, I was thinking of backing them to be winning at halftime, but they just haven't had that many shots.
No, they've 3 shots, but none on target. But like they're 75-76% possession. Like,
dominating possession.
seem to be absolutely dominating. Yeah, but
as well, like I have them as my pick in our combined ACA, and I need 3 goals them to win. So I don't really want to be jinxing that or putting any more than I already any more investment I have in it already.
Yeah, the odds have disappeared from my screen here, so I'm hoping that there's a Queen of a South goal. But that could be just weird.
I mean, Queens of the South are one of our teams, aren't they? I mean, I certainly have that 1 week we had them in the ACA and they did well in that double.
Penalty. There's a penalty.
Penalty Hearts.
For Queen of the South. For Queen of the South, I think.
Oh, it is too, yeah.
Because Hearts have gone out to 5-4.
What did you back, Gary? Just a goal?
Over half a goal, yeah.
Class.
5-4, so come on.
Not good for the bet as well.
We can't have 3 penalties on the screen.
No, it has to be third time lucky.
Like, yeah, I'd feel a lot safer if Hearts were taking the penalty. Goal, yes.
Yes.
On the lads.
But for the
that's actually great. That's great for the best, lads.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Yeah, because need Hearts to win. You know, they're obviously going to push for it now. They're still favourites to win that match. Like, so.
Yeah, a dominant win can easily just peter out into 2-0. Like a really, like, you know, when you're expecting a hide and, you know, 1-0 up is great. Bologna just missed an absolute, like, free
header.
Oh, God. Like, you have to give it, must be the conditions, because he just looked like he looked like a non-football player trying to hit that ball.
The way he was kind of sideways in the air a little bit. Just got totally against fucking.
Yeah.
FC Thun have just gone down 2-0, so I should have just stuck with another goal in that match. At least it's only a 5.
Like, the stick on the Queen of the South Hearts game for a second. I can't believe the differential in pricing. Like Hearts were they 2-9 or something like that before the game slots?
Yeah, they were. Yeah, they were 3-10, I think.
Yeah, and like after going 1-0 down, they're out to 6-4.
I suppose it's nearly half time as well. Would be the other.
I know, but still, like, they're actually sick of this Blackburn performance. Jesus.
Shocking!
What odds were Queen of the South before that? Hearts before that penalty, Gary? Did you see it?
9-1.
9-1, yeah.
Sorry, what odds were the other crowd? Hearts.
They were about 1-3 before the penalty.
No, were they?
I think so, yeah. Before the penalty.
A bit, yeah.
Well, sorry, I was just
going on. Gary, that Preston goal, like, there was literally 4 Blackburn defenders around him in the box.
Yeah, it's a disgrace, like.
Speaking of disgraces, did anyone just see the Benevento shot?
No.
Should be just landed in Lewisham any minute now, Gary. Fucking hell, he just absolutely.
What we want. Come on, the upper tier. That's what we want.
4 minutes left, not even 3 minutes left. I think you dodged the loser there, Gary. Well done.
Well, speaking of losers, did you see Preston are up 2-0? Is that?
Yeah, sorry, we were talking about that, lads.
Oh, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was in.
So did I.
What a strike! Fucking hell.
Absolute rocket, yeah. What's his name? Tiramisu looks like it is in the back of his jersey. Oh, God.
Throw it down, lads. So, yeah, I'm cashing out. No, I can't. Jesus.
You can now. You're 90% of the way through.
Honestly, I thought that was in. I thought it was like one of them FIFA ones.
This match has had the chances, though, for both teams who scored in this half. So I'm happy with
how Blackburn have a penalty. I think Blackburn.
No penalty. Shouldn't be given.
Lee, how many matches do you have on? You just turn around if you got the multicast.
That's a dive, man.
Man, it looked like a penalty from where my betting account was standing.
Well, it is from that point of view, but it's not.
And if you see the dive in the Bayern Munich
match, the goal on the board anyway. The goal on the board anyway. We're back in the game. Come on, the Blackburn.
But you've seen it. It's not a penalty at all.
It's definitely not a penalty, but I mean, I'll take it.
No, he did well. He did very well to get it.
I'm going to have to talk to you offline, Lee, about whatever setup you have there, because it seems that you have all the games.
Yeah.
I thought I was doing good to have 2 games.
I'm flicking. But
the old Fire Stick remote. I love it.
Yeah. Fantastic. It's fantastic. I can't believe I was spending so much money in the past on entertainment.
on legitimate streams. I actually lost my Fire Stick remote, so I've got to use a stupid app. And every time you close your phone, it logs you out. It's annoying. But it's a great little box.
Fantastic. Yeah, we just see this game out now.
Slats, did you say you had a bet in Sabadell and Zaragoza?
Yeah, I threw a fiver on it to be 1-1. I can see Zaragoza have gone up 1-0 half an hour in.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty good for a 1-1 draw. Like, it's not too early. It's not too late.
Yeah, it's always good to have the home team fighting for the result.
Like,
definitely. Yeah. If not the home team, the favourite is what you want, but one way or the other.
Yeah, so I don't think there's much between them now anyway.
Hearts are tempting me at a price. So when I was looking at it there, and they just disappeared from the screen. They are 6-4.
6-4, yeah.
Which,
I mean, it's not great, is it?
Considering they
it is for a team who are top of the table and so far clear. I just don't want to back it because it's a long sift for 45 minutes, and I want a little bit more of a punt. But just for the record, I'm up £23.67 for the night. That's profit. So
right, guys.
I don't know where, but that's just for transparency purposes.
All of my profits have been reinvested in bets that are currently not great.
Yeah. Oh, Blackburn should be 2-2. Oh my God. 47-31, Gary. Where are you? Minutes.
47-11.
You see this? Oh, what a save! Fucking hell! It's like slow motion. The build up. You just knew it was going to be a good.
I can see it here. It's like 7 Blackburn players. Oh, what a save!
Yeah.
My God, that's like save of the season.
Yeah. But it was like the build up was slow motion, wasn't it? You're just like, there's bound to be a fucking great chance here. Like,
in fairness, it's a great finish as well. Like, great attempt by your
man as
well.
From fucking 4 yards out, like a lovely ball.
I know. Like, he must be absolutely fucking pissed off to see that one saved. Like,
some finish, man. He just thinks it with the top of his boot. Like, he fucking doesn't even try for it.
Should have let it go for Bradley Dack in behind him.
Speaking of disappointed, it's half time in Italy anyway, so that is that.
So Lee, you won that bet, did you?
Yeah.
What odds did you get? What odds did you get? No more goals at?
They were about around, what would they be? So I got 18 back off a tenner. So what? 4-5?
4-5, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. They were about 4-5. They're about 1 point.
That felt so desperate for you to win that as soon as you went on it, taking that aggressive stance against the.
Well, I was just watching. I just like Benevento. They just look so tidy at the back, like they were all over them. But
that as soon as I put it on, it changed. I don't think they went forward once with the ball after that. Benevento.
That shit. It does happen sometimes. The game just changes as soon as your bet's on.
I even said it, like, they're so open at the back because they're playing so aggressively. This is what's going to happen. And then,
but there was great chances, LB. Like, I mean, it was more. That's what I had to turn it off because I actually thought I was fucking wasting money from my behalf.
Well,
so I need to get a bet out there, lads. I've gone one more first half goal in the Serie B. It's just 10 minutes left, and I've put £8.67 on at 13-8. So
nice.
A little bit of the profit.
It looks to be a lot of action in that game.
There is, yeah. There is.
Which one did you go for, guys?
Just one more goal in the game. But I always forget the players that are in that division. Like, looking at lineups here, like, you got like Kevin Prince Boateng playing, like, so there's always a chance of a goal. Like, so he plays for Monza. And they have Balotelli as well, but Balotelli's on the bench. So
yeah, well, they're owned by.
He's on in the second half.
Silvio Berlusconi owns them. He's back on the scene, so plenty of cash there for them. Yeah, he got over.
Was it Berlusconi's grandson that signed for
no,
Lazio?
Mussolini's
Mussolini.
great grandson.
Yeah.
I mean, not a lot of Italians would be happy with that comparison between the two. But
I knew there was something controversial.
They're two most famous leaders, Berlusconi and Mussolini. Oh yeah, no,
sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, it's 4.8 for like both teams to score now. So basically, for Monza not to score. I wonder if you flicked around a little bit, is that decent value for? I haven't been watching the game at all.
Well, it's good value, but it's a fairly negative bet to be putting on for a live stream BETALONG.
That's my mood tonight. I'm all about minimising fucking enjoyment.
Profit is profit.
I think we need a bit of that. We need a bit of balance. We're all about the overs and the goals and the.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know what?
That's a great price though. So like they haven't scored in the first third of the match. They're not going to score in the next two. Like that's 4. What's that? 3-1, 3 and a bit to 1, 7-2 maybe. Big odds.
He is slightly cheering against me though, which I don't know if I'm too happy about. But
well, I mean, I wouldn't be.
Yeah, I mean, he did the exact opposite bet to me in the last one. So this is at least you could get another couple of Pisa goals and you both win.
And he's been consistent at it. At a minimum.
Go on. I'll leave it out now. I have it on the boy.
No, go ahead. Don't let me put you off.
I just had a rounding bet in, so I had 1883 in the account. I just put 383 on it.
Yeah, I'd say the amount of bets that get put on like that, just rounding the account down to 5 or 0, must be.
I can't handle having odd amounts on my gambling accounts. It doesn't.
Oh, it's fine.
I'd rather
a nice round 0.
They'd end up coming down. They lose, and you're just like, yay! Now my account is balanced at an even euro. That's what I was after.
But this is anyone else watching the Serie B game? By the way, it is all Monza.
It is all Monza.
Yeah.
I wonder how that compares to fucking the championship. Like, because it looks fucking good. Like, it looks like I haven't watched much Serie B at all, but I've watched this for the last, it's only a few minutes, but I mean, it's fucking high energy.
They're technically very good, but surprisingly for Italians, they don't have an idea how to defend, really. It just turns into mayhem of games. Where, like, I think it's a great league. Like,
there's no European competition for second tier.
That's a great idea.
That's a great idea. Yeah,
it'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Just to really
get rid of the Europa League is the stupidest. Get rid of that and just make that
the
Champions
rundown Champions League B.
Yeah, and just make
it'd be really interesting to see where teams fare against each other at that level. Like,
yeah, and you'd actually imagine the crowds as well. You'd get massive crowds.
Yeah, it'd be so big for them to be playing against like decent.
Some pictures,
like Deportivo in the second division in Spain. If they were playing against fucking Ipswich Town or someone, like they'd be fucking mad for it.
All old timers go and like reliving the glory days.
Exactly.
It'd actually be great. Remember the Sky Sports used to have the Masters where it was like the lads playing 5-a-side.
Yeah.
Instead of that, they'd just be down in the lower leagues. It'd be class.
Yeah.
But sorry, just on the whole rounding on your betting account, just to get out there, they should have a thing like, in some shops when you go in, they do a round up or a round down to charity. So it's like, you're buying food and it goes, it's like 90 and 50. And they go, do you want to give 50p to charity? Yeah. They should have that it just automatically goes to a charity in a gambling account, just so you only see whole figures. That would be my suggestion.
Yeah. That sort of stuff, like Domino's do it as well. When you order online, it's like, do you want to round up? And like, I think it's only.
I didn't want to open myself to the flagons, but that's exactly what I was thinking. So
that's it. Yeah, that's it. But it's like, why are they even asking me this? Like, just do it.
Breeda Blick just went up 4-0 there, so that puts my profit for the night up to 30 quid. But I've
nice.
5 are invested on that ton game that looks like it's going to lose, and then I've a 5.
You must be you're well ahead of the game, though, are you? So, in terms of profits, because what do you want, LB?
None. Well, I'm only back. I didn't start on 20, but I'm up to 20 now from just below 15. I haven't reinvested since that SerieA loss.
Actually, I actually cheated a little bit because I actually fucking opened the account to 25. Now I did lose a $5 on that Blackburn match, so maybe we can just cancel that off and or I'll just take it off the top, whatever you want.
We'll just cancel all the losing bets. Cancel all the losing bets.
It's just your profit and loss for the night, like whatever you start with, like.
Okay, so just right. Just so I started at 25. We're all about honesty.
Grand.
But Gary, I thought you were saying you had about 20 profit yourself for the night so far, were you?
Well, I've got £8 invested that I'm going to lose here because I can't. I don't think there's going to be another goal in the Serie B game here before half time.
But if there is, it's going to be Monza. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think P's have touched the ball since I turned this on.
No, I actually got a heart attack because
on.
I looked down at the screen and they were showing a replay of one of the goals from earlier on. So I was like, yes, get in there. And then I realized that the replay. I was like, fuck. But yeah, I agree. Monza are the only team that's going to.
You didn't put that on, Lee, did you? That 4-1.
I did, yeah.
You did. But you've been hoping for half time here anyway. Knock the stuff in there.
I know, I'm desperate for it. Look at it, lovely goal kick. Ideal.
That's terrible. Like, how can you give away a goal kick there? Disgrace.
It's great to see. It's great to see.
But yours needs to be like no goals for Monza until full time, Lee, is it? Or was that for half time?
Full time.
I think I might just go the whole hog and just put the 20 on maybe a treble at half time.
Whoa, that's
3 goals for Monza.
Well,
I'm actually contemplating that as well. I was thinking about doing the draw on Monza and the win of Hearts.
Well, I was looking at Hearts, Blackburn to come back, and then maybe something in the Monza game. But I think I might just leave it. I'm a bit invested in that football too much there, the Italian stuff. So I'm thinking of the Hearts, Blackburn double, maybe Blackburn to draw.
I'd love a goal in Spain, I have to say.
What was that?
I'd love a goal in Spain.
Oh, that's going to kill you. Is it set Vigo Elche, is it?
Yeah.
The only thing is, I'd say is that for the ACA, if that did get to halftime at all, it's not a bad result for that side of it. But ideally, Elche should go up 1-0 and win your bet, and the bet for the ACA will be looking even better. It's actually suspended. Oh, Celta just scored.
Oh my goodness.
Nice for
Brilliant.
You. That's all we want.
Like that 15. Oh, hang on, it's suspended again, so that could be.
Oh, what, 2-0? Jesus, bet coming in.
Yeah, that's definitely some VAR thing.
Yeah, it's annoying now. Well, the goal in that is not going to be part of the half-time treble anyway, that's for sure. 44 minutes.
Goal, but I don't know.
Looks to have kicked off again.
Is it?
I wonder what,
I've gone on that double, just the Monza to draw and Hearts to win double, 10-1. So I just did it there before.
Monza to win. Is that what you said?
Monza to draw and Hearts to win. So both need 2 goals. Monza and Hearts need 2 goals. 10-1.
Sometimes they sound great, but then you think, is 10-1 a bit low for 4 goals? Although I would agree with both of those bets, they both sound good, but
looking at the Monza game, I don't see how they don't get 1 goal anyway. They play the same in the second half the way they're playing here. I don't see how they don't get 1. Both of the teams were long kind of odds on before the game. So I think there's a bit of value in the 10-1. Normally I'd agree with you.
Celta gone 2-0 up.
Goals.
Boom. So your bet's in, Lee. Yeah. Your bet's dead. Your bet's in.
I was actually going to do it.
That does look dead. You can't see Elche coming back from.
No,
it's definitely dead.
I was going to do.
I was just lining that game up. Celta Vigo, Bologna, the Zaragoza game, and Hearts. All 4 games to have a goal in the second half and put them all over 1.5. But that is gone. I'm going to leave out the Celta Vigo one anyway. Just 2-0
again now. 2-0 before half time.
Yeah. But what about doing a goal, like at least another goal in Celta, Monza, Leipzig?
Leipzig, I'm going to leave. For me, 2-0 half time is the dodgiest scoreline. It just many games.
Check out,
Yeah.
I think Pisa have gone 3-0 up, have they?
I'm not in it, so I'll have to check.
Fingers crossed, right?
No, it's still 2-0 as far as I can see.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, 2-0 on mine. They just those lower ones, they just suspend them when they get remotely near half time.
They nearly scored from a corner though. The keeper made a good save. So
1-8 for another goal there later on in the second half. Seems. Seems likely, but
Okay, so
even money for a goal in those 4 games, it's probably a bit low now to be lumping on.
is that all it is it?
Yeah, not even. It's 1.93 for Bologna, Zaragoza, Hearts, and Monza games to all have another goal. So I'm going to leave that.
What odds did you say? Sorry, LB.
Even 1.93 for the 4 games to have a goal.
4 goals.
Yeah.
I don't know. Seems reasonable, but
I don't know whether it is or not though. I think it's a bit short. You're probably better off waiting for.
Individually,
like.
you'd expect a goal in each of those games, but it's a lot combined. Like waiting for 4 goals for less than even money.
Despite that Monza one as well, like 2-0 up. It just is that finished 2-0. Nobody bat an eyelid, and you're sitting there with it 1-8, just going to kill a bet. So. Yeah,
what's the story with not being able to do multis on the fucking
on the exchange? Well, just because they don't know, so someone has to lay that liability, Lee, and you don't know what it'll be. So let's say I did Monza, and so I know they flirted with it for a while. You could put them in. I think it just sent you back to the sports book when you did it or something.
It did, yeah. It wasn't
used to
clear.
Be able to request them as well, wasn't it?
That's what
I think when it first come on, you used to be able to request, and then you could put in your ACA. And then it would go on a screen, and someone would go
had some preset.
They
had some preset combos, like you could back, say United, Liverpool, and Chelsea all to win, or you could back lay that, so it was still an exchange bet. I don't remember that you could pick your own combinations and it'd still be on the exchange. It used to show it on the exchange, but as far as I know, it used to just convert it over to the sports book once you combine them.
See, it's mad. I very rarely back anything other than horses on the exchange. It's weird. I would never even look for the exchange for a football bet. Like it's just...
For goals bets, it's always nearly always a couple of percentage higher. So
I would say for every bet, it's a couple of percentage higher.
Yeah.
Except then you have to pay your 2% or 5% depending on your Betfair setup of your winnings, which brings it closer. But generally, you're getting better value on the exchange.
Yeah, so you nearly always are. Yeah,
I've done Hearts, Preston, Bologna, and Pisa to win. About 5-1, 5.5 to 1. Let's see.
I'm glad you're cheering with us anyway, LB or Lee.
Yeah, but I mean, I actually feel bad about this bet.
Part of the team, man.
Some contract.
I don't know what I'm going with now. I've a couple of things still running.
Yeah, I'm searching for something here, but I can't see. Did you see the Man United women's game is now 3-0 to Man City?
No.
So should get in there. But you're right, lads. It's showing up as 3 shots on target.
3 shots on target. That would be some efficient play if that was true.
Yeah, the most efficient strikers in the world.
Yeah, they don't even chance a shot unless the keeper's on the ground and they just have an empty goal to hit it into.
So that's for the 3rd time. What did you back in that Sabadell game?
1-1.
I'm going to back it here as well.
I thought you'd be all over the Polish game tonight, Lee, with Slask Wrocław versus Wisła Krakow.
No, I didn't. Let me have a look here. Do you know what score it is?
1-1.
1-1.
And Krakow are just inside even money to win that. So I presume they were big favourites at the start. They do look to be dominating the attacks and dominating the shots. Not as much dominating the shots, but it could be value. I'm going to just have What do you reckon, Lee? Should they be dominating that game? Should they be winning their away?
No, I wouldn't say dominant. I mean, I haven't looked at it. I can't even remember the table since before Christmas, but I wouldn't have said either of them would be dominating. Let me check.
Oh, really? Okay.
I'm going to have a look here, because I have it loaded in my bet slip already.
Oh, do you know what it is? And you're actually spot on, Lee, because Slask Wrocław have a red card, so that's why they're that's why Krakow are. I mean, there's still only evens to win playing against 10 men, so that would suggest that they were pretty evenly matched at kickoff. And any game with a red card, I try to avoid, so I'll be doing the same there.
Jesus, yeah. Well, the draw is 23-20, and Krakow are 21-20. I'm gonna back the draw there, along with a draw in Portugal, which is 3-2, and then a draw in that Sabadell game, which is almost 3-1.
Yeah, some of those draws, I'm looking through it there, some of those draws are very generously priced, considering the pre-game odds and stuff like that. I think I'm going to see what price a Benevento goal is here. 2 goals there is even money. Both teams to score is evens. So Benevento goal is evens. I'm tempted to go on that.
So tempting to go mad, isn't it? Just throw everything on what you're about to bet.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. Learned the hard way not to.
Yeah. So I'm going a little bit to mix it up. I'm on 7 corners in the Leipzig and Augsburg game. So over 7. So there's been 5 already, so I need 3 more.
What odds is that?
10-11.
Half an hour left.
Yeah, 3 corners. Now there's only been 5 in the first 60 minutes, but it's a fairly open game still. So
yeah,
I'm doing that. So
I need to find something. I'm getting itchy fingers now.
That sounds like a lovely little bet, Harry. How is that? It's what? There's 5 corners already.
5 corners already. Right? Yeah, the 63 minutes in. So I need 3 corners in the last 27 minutes.
I'm getting all over that. What's evens? Is it?
Just under evens for 3 corners. Yeah. So I'm back to basically level now if I've no bets in. So I've my 5 are on the 10-1 shot. The draw on Hearts, draw on Pisa, and I've the 7 corners as well.
So that's you gone over 6.5 corners or over 7.5 corners?
So it's over 7 corners. So I need 8.
Over 7.5.
Over 7.5. Like,
yeah.
You get 7.5 corners.
They call it over 7 on
Bet365. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. There's that inconsistency.
Although I'd obviously be betting with William Hill if I was anybody else.
Dick Hill. I actually felt way happier about my bets when I was going against you, to be honest. I just feel like unconfident.
You should have stuck with that strategy. It was working for you.
I'm gonna stick to it. Actually, for next week, I decided like if I'm gonna stick to it. I want my nickname to be the Contra.
I don't think you're allowed to make up your own nickname, Lee.
Why not?
I don't know. It just seems like
right, and just take it on board. Maybe you'll come up with it yourself next week.
Just sit on it for a few days.
It's just a suggestion. Give us a list and we'll pick one of them.
I'm actually tempted to reinvest my starting bank on Hearts on their own as well.
Just to win.
I just don't see. Yeah, I mean they're dominating. They've had 9 corners, 75% possession. The only thing they haven't they've 5 shots off target, none on target.
0 shots on target.
Yeah. That's the only thing they haven't done is got a shot on target. But every other category they're dominating in, and obviously they're top of the league and 12 points clear or whatever. So
they're dominating the championship. They're all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the 11-8 might be value, but I might hold off and see. Be greedy, try to get 2-1. If we can get 2-1 the next kind of 5 minutes, I'll go for it.
Has to be.
I'd nearly back all of these teams to draw. Benevento, Hearts, Blackburn, and
easy. Yeah, definitely. Because looking at it, Blackburn were coming back to Blackburn were I just threw on the last 15 minutes and it was all Blackburn. And that Benevento game for sure.
I wonder what that Portuguese game is like for goals, the Premier League game there.
It's nicely priced, aren't they? They're kind of teasers.
Yeah. There's been 9 shots. There's only been 1 shot on target, but for a first half goal, now it's 6-4 with 20 minutes left in the half and plenty of shots. I'm just gonna hop in and have a look at that league on Soccerway and see See, is there anything?
I actually have it open. I have the game open here, lads. So.
Oh really? How
yeah.
have you been watching?
No, just I have like soccer stats open, and I actually had that game open on the screen here. So like, Fama like how have conceded in 100% of their games, and they've been losing at halftime in 67% of their games. Now the only thing is, Belenazis have failed to score in 88% of their games, so that's probably why it's sticking out. But yeah, neither team likes to score first either. It's like 11% versus 12%. The two teams where they like score first. So it doesn't seem like a likely one.
In most of Belenaz's games.
I've just done I've taken your one, guys. I've combined the bets that everyone just said there. I had £3 in my account, so I don't know what I put on that left me with 18 and something. So I put the 363 on 2 more goals in the Bologna match. The corners won in Leipzig that Gary mentioned, and a first half goal in the Portuguese game.
Yeah, I'm going to get it on a first half goal.
Back off that 3, so it seems very.
What did you get back off it?
65.
That's nice.
Yeah, so it's going to do that. A desperate roll of the dice here from somebody who's in last place in the BETALONG.
Like, is it common for like a draw to be the shortest odds? Like how
only in play. In a game, before a game, never. But in play, it would be, if you had, say, a big home favourite and they're losing 1-0 and you're getting, into the last 20 minutes, that the draw becomes the most likely one.
I was saying
that there's only 28 minutes gone in this, and the draw is the favourite already.
Really?
Yeah.
That Sabadell game was the favourite before for a draw. But, like, seeing as they've drawn 6 of the last 7 games, it's not that surprising. Yeah. But yeah, normally it's outside. It's 2-1 or wider usually for a draw before kickoff.
So 0-0 is 4-7.
And what time is on the clock?
30 minutes.
That's in.
Got 0-0 at half time,
or half
time. The whole game?
That's
the whole game.
What game is that?
The Portuguese game.
Like, I actually would believe it in terms of like the
No, it's 3.5-1. It's 7-2 for full time 0-0.
3.5. Yeah, sorry, I said 4.5. But what, 3.5-1?
Yeah.
I thought you meant 4-2-5, like odds on for next.
Oh no, sorry, I wasn't. No.
Well, we all would have been all over that if it was like whatever.
Eat the shit out.
7-4 for a goal, basically.
But like Belenazes in their away games average 0.13 goals per game. So
wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that for a team who has played more than one away game. So that's in eight away matches. That was their average.
So should we not be jumping on the 0-0 draw here?
But the only thing about it is like they just counteract each other. So the other crowd haven't kept the home clean sheet this season. So it's like
it's that thing.
One of them has to give, like
Yeah, 2 crap teams play against each other, like.
Yeah. I think the Portuguese league, by the sounds of this, and the Brazilian football, there are 2 ones where I don't know. Do you just assume, or certainly, is it just me, or does everybody assume that they're kind of goal fests? The amount of times you'd back a Brazilian match and it just finishes 0-0 or 1-0.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I went through a phase of thinking these are goal
late
fests.
Night phase.
So many times. For anything, first half goals, over goals, both teams to score. Any of those, yeah.
It's snowing, I think, in the Bologna match now, or it's bucketing down anyway. And the pitch has kind of gone white, so I assume it's snowing. So yeah, instantly
that's up anyway.
Goals.
Hearts are approaching the 2-1 figure that I was tempted by. 15-8 now.
For the win.
For the win, yeah. So I'd say as soon as the clock strikes like 60 minutes gone, then it'll go to 2-1, yeah.
My bets now in play are I'm back to where I started, and I think I'm going to wait. And if none of them come in or look like they're coming in, I'm going to see what value is around with like 10 minutes to go. I think I'm going to leave them off now because I have no real view on any of these matches. I feel like I'm just.
Are you watching that Hearts game, Gary?
No, I can't find a channel for it. So I'm just
like
watching
it went suspended there for a second with the Queen of the South on a dangerous attack.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Hearts yellow card.
Yeah, Hearts
are
yellow.
out to 11-5 now, so
that was a bit of a jump. Right, they're outside 2-1 now.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having the Hearts corner count at the moment, though, in the Leipzig game.
I'm going to throw Hearts TV on here.
that dodgy box is unreal for the channels that you get.
Channels that I didn't even realize existed.
Yeah, Hearts TV. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, you've no more goals so far in that German game, Gary.
I only need corners.
No more corners.
Yeah, it's mad. Like, because Leipzig, when I put the bet on, Leipzig were kind of doing the odd attack, but now they're just playing the ball around in the center of the pitch. Like,
it can be the problem in those 2-0 games. I think LB were mentioning it earlier. Like, it can just end up finishing that way, 2-0 half time. Like,
yeah, they kind of dwindle out. Like,
yeah, I think the team that are 2-0 down come out of the blocks flying in the second half, and if they don't get something, then it's just done. Benevento had a great chance there, went in for a corner to come to nothing. Yeah, like if they come flying out of the blocks in the second half, and if the other crowd can hold on for kind of 10 minutes, it's a game that can just often turn into absolutely nothing. How are Benevento not even getting a shot on here? What? Is anyone else watching Benevento?
No.
Benevento scored.
Oh, yeah. Class. What a goal. Well, actually, what a crap goalkeeping.
Is that one of yours in your LB for the draw?
Yeah, I've got a draw on that, and I've got 2 goals needed in that, so this one's actually looking great now. Has it been reviewed? No. So the keeper went out to catch it, just dropped it, and it just fell to the foot of the striker, who just backheeled it into the net. And there was, I'd say, 15 players in the box when it happened. 16 or 17 players in the box. That's actually a lovely finish. But what on God's earth was the goalkeeper doing? He just ran, he just Superman dive, caught it in the air, palmed it down to the feet of the striker, who just backheeled it in. Quick reaction.
So I've gone for a world beater here, lads. A 5 on a draw in the Pisa game. A win for Belenazes in Portugal, and Hearts as well. 50-1, a 5 on it. But at Belenazes, I looked at it, and even though their away form is terrible, like, they're still kind of mid-table. So, like, they obviously have something about them at home, and the other crowd are so bad at home. I don't think they should be the price that they are, like, you know. So I think it's worth a bet, especially a 5. So, like, they were 9-4. I don't think they should be 9-4. Like, I think there's a penalty in the Leipzig game. Is there?
It's suspended anyway.
Looks to be a penalty.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Looks to be a penalty to Augsburg.
Be hoping the keeper parries it wide.
Yeah, that's it. The keeper parries it over. Like, I think there might be a goal in the Elche game as well. Is there? Definitely, it's gone suspended anyway.
If I hadn't made the commitment to not bet again in play, I would be looking at this Benevento game for another goal.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you make that commitment?
It's only 4-9.
You know what? It annoys me when I've got too many kind of bets that nearly by definition rule each other out. I feel like I'm already flirting with that line at the minute, so I'm going to wait until a few of them kind of settle themselves one way or the other. But I have goals in this Bologna match in 2 bets anyway, so won't be doing it on its own.
I'm hoping that this Augsburg goal now,
lights a fire,
like, livens it up, and then both teams can take a few shots, get a few corners. So otherwise, I'm down a 5 for the night. So I've gone from a nice kind of 23 quid profit to dwindling away to -5. So
I think this Bologna game could be a great bet for a goal. If nothing happens in the next 10 minutes and they keep playing like this, I think I'd actually pile into it.
It's only 1-2 at the moment.
Yeah, that's why I'm hoping. Like, 62 minutes? Just because the goal went in, they was that a corner, Gary?
It was a corner, yeah.
Class. So because the goal went in,
goes out for another one straight away.
Yeah, they're great. Just punch straight behind. I'd say it must be about at least once a match, like, or not at least, but you see most matches where you get that little flurry of sort of 2 or 3. Yeah, so I think just because the goal just went in, Slats, there'll be no real odds drift. But I think if this gets to 70 minutes, there should be a good bit of.
Well, I'll tell you now, it's suspended. Where are you in that? You're watching that, are you?
Yeah, it was Elche scored, by the way. The fella went down for a penalty. Ref just kind of laughed it off. But there's a fight. Oh, that's why it's suspended. Nice. Do love a bit of a scrap.
Yeah, that's good for PK's bet that Elche have scored there. It's still suspended, so I don't know if they're reviewing it or what. But
that act is back on now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We need Hearts.
Hearts are killing us now.
So we need any goal in Italy, a Hearts goal, an Elche goal. Sorry, I'm whatever Gary.
No, but I mean, yeah, it's not like.
Oh no!
It's on the comeback trail anyway.
That's only a yellow. I thought Blackburn were only 1 goal. I got Blackburn to win. Yeah.
I think there could be a goal on Monza, is there?
We need 2 goals in Hearts, 2 goals in Blackburn, and a goal from Elche away. What? I don't even remember what the 4th bet is then.
2.5 in Italy.
Oh, just 1 more there. Yeah, well, that looks pretty good. So VAR are reviewing, I think, Elche's goal.
Yeah, cancel it.
Yeah.
Jeez, Monza are missing some amount of opportunities.
Yeah, every time I flicked onto it, they are dominating and just can't seem to do anything with it.
God, I don't think there's been another bloody shot in this Portuguese game since I backed it.
What did you go for in the Portuguese game, Slats?
First half goal.
Jesus, what odds was it?
2-1. I just put a 5 on it.
I hope that comes in. That'll get my treble. So I've got copied that. It'll
good. It's like 40 minutes now, and there hasn't been a shot in the last.
I hope they don't come in.
Christmas Grinch. There's a good free kick here now for Bologna. Let's see if anything comes of it.
I'm getting very tempted to get in that.
What price is it sneaking out to?
Well, do you know what? Let me check the exchange because it'll obviously be better there.
I'd say I'd be tempted to back the Benevento win. I think that's be much bigger odds, but I just get that feeling.
The Benevento win and the Pisa draw, or the Monza Pisa draw, seems like a decent bet. I'm too invested in everything else, so I can't do it. But
yeah,
1.65 on the exchange for another goal there.
That's not bad.
No, it's all right.
I think I'll wait, give it another little bit.
Yeah, I think it's worth waiting in that one because the fear is that it's just a flurry of energy after the equaliser.
I think
and it could die off.
Bologna are going to just get desperate here, though. They're kind of...
If they keep pushing and pushing, then if you don't miss the goal, you obviously,
if they keep pushing, I'm going to jump on it. That was some dodgy back pass or clearance, whatever that was meant to be. I might do the Benevento win or another goal around 75, 80 minutes if it's still 1-1.
If Monza go the whole second half without scoring, it'll be an absolute travesty.
Well, that was Lee's bet. Did you get on that Monza not to score?
Yeah,
both teams to score. No, and what was it? About 3-1, was it?
Let me get it up here.
4-1, I think. Was it?
Years.
The chances that are being missed,
criminal.
I mean, it's only
one of these days. I have it's the one I only put 383 on it. So
My corners bet, I think, is gone like 8 minutes to
Only been
get
that one,
2
is it?
corners.
no, it
I
can
know what's
happen,
going to
man.
happen is it's going to end on 7. Like, I need over 7. It's going to
No,
end
it's
on
gonna be
7.
one corner and then it's fucking gonna go out for a second corner and you're gonna get to fucking bet in 10 seconds.
I know
It's
that's
gonna
what
be
I want, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately.
And cash out for 149 profit on that Monza bet, not to score. Based on how
That's
you were
not bad
talking.
for the stake. you
Probably
brought.
not bad, yeah. For like I'm getting fucking 33% back, that'd be 383.
Did you
Even
manage
more,
to
yeah.
find Hearts TV, Lee? Was it getting on?
It's on here, yeah.
How are they getting on?
I mean, to be honest, from watching it there, I'd be back in Queen of the South just to win, just to see it out. Hearts haven't done fuck all, despite
Doesn't
having all
look
the
like they've
possession.
done much, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Queen of the South are
Queen of the
evens
South are
now.
evens now to win it. Like,
Yeah, I'd be back in that, to be honest, if you wanted to back the game. But
I'm
I
just gonna
can't do it
avoid
because
that.
I'm too invested in Hearts already. But
like, how far are Hearts ahead? I didn't see that table, but are they so far ahead that they're not really bothered here?
I don't know. Would that be it? Like, they're 12 points clear, but it's still pretty. It's not even halfway through the season. Like, I don't know.
They're
It should be
lacking
pretty
intensity.
comfortable.
Like, it doesn't seem like they're too pushed.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a bit of that. All right. They definitely can
they
get
not
away
know that
with
my
losing
money is riding
games.
on them, no?
You need to get it up on
Again,
Twitter. Get the message across.
strongly worded tweet, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would.
It just goes to show, like, there'll be people out there backing Hearts to win that at, like 3 to 10 or something like that. You'd be disgusted. Because, like, you couldn't fancy Queen of the South going into the game. Like.
What were they before again?
We're 9-1 at a stage
anyway.
in play, but I don't know what they were before the game.
I'm going to
that Elche goal was allowed, lads. I thought you said it was disallowed.
It went to VAR, but yeah, they allowed it.
Oh, okay.
It won.
They have a corner here now, Elche do. So, I mean, I know that Ak is pretty much dead, but it'd be nice for even PK's leg of it to come in at least. And this bloody Portuguese game, although there's 3 minutes in injury time in the first half. Gives it a bit of a chance.
In the Portuguese game, yeah.
Yeah, it's still so, like, there's just a little over 2 minutes left for a goal. Seems unlikely now.
Yeah.
Well, that's nearly, and I have a tenner on a draw in Poland and a draw in that Portuguese game.
Really, that Polish one is nearly in for you.
Yeah.
What odds was that? About evens, was it?
It was evens and 6-4 in Portugal. So
right, yeah.
45 minutes if that Poland game sees it out.
Yeah, I haven't really been keeping much of an eye on that Spanish game, but it's still 1-0. I did see that Sabadell had a few chances, all right, but I have no idea how close they were to actually scoring. Like, they had a couple of shots off target, like, and they've had a few more dangerous attacks than that. But yeah, I mean, once it stays 1-0, there's a good chance of a draw. The home team might push on for it.
I stuck another one on as well. I stuck a fiver on Queen of the South to win at 13-10. Preston at 8-15. The draw in Italy, Zaragoza to win, and Pisa to see it out.
This has just turned into a punt fest.
It is a punt fest.
Oh, it's an absolute punt fest. Why not? There's fivers everywhere. See what happens. All I need is one of them to come in and I'll come out with €40 profit for the night.
My corners, but I can't believe it. Like, there's been like Leipzig are 2-1 up, and they got a counter attack there, and like any other football team in the history of man would have brought it into the corner and then kicked it off the defender and got another corner. And a guy just like dribbles into the box and has one of the worst shots in history straight into the keeper's hands. It's like, just get me a corner. Like, come on.
If it was
the
a
2
centre
games
half,
are
I would
suspended.
do it.
I assume the 2 games are suspended because they're nearly over, the first half goal and the Leipzig one. There's not actually anything happening in either of them.
There's 20 seconds left in the first half, injury time of the Portuguese.
I don't see Leipzig got suspended now. I'm actually 6-5.
Do you know what? Maybe my treble is just suspended for the corners because it's
or it could be suspended for the Portuguese game.
No, sorry, within the treble, like it's the 2 legs are suspended and the Bologna one's not. Like.
Oh, okay, sorry. What about that Bologna game now, Elby? I was going to say to you, it's just gone above evens now for another goal. You still fancy it?
I mean, Bologna are just tearing down the field. It's just gone suspended.
Is it?
No, I'm actually 6-5.
For a corner.
It's not a bet fair. You just made me panic, and I'm throwing 15 quid on.
I did exactly the same. I'm throwing 15 quid on Bologna, 11-5. I was just like, I'm winning here. They're like, it's suspended. There's definitely a goal. Corner.
Yeah, need to get on it before Betfair goes suspended.
Exactly. Yeah. I actually can't believe I should go on to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the fastest finger first. Like, I was like, boom, boom, boom.
I wonder, yeah. I think so. It's still pretty open. You wouldn't be tempted to do a second half one in that Portuguese thing, Gary? Slats even.
No, not after looking at the stats and everything else. It's probably a bad idea to go at it in the first place. There's still, I think there was only one shot in the last like 20 minutes or so, that half, 25 minutes. So no, I would have gone there. Some of the old South American soccer's after kicking off there now.
Here we go.
The Salvador Reserve League.
Ooh.
Definitely going to be a goal in the first half there.
Double.
It's actually depression with this corners. I need about fucking 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah, it's just so hard to see it. Although sometimes you get it where like they take the short corner and just stay there, and the defender comes out and they hop it off and get another corner.
Yeah,
so you could be a bit lucky with that.
Now, they're on the attack here again, Leipzig, and I said, why won't they take the ball into the corner? They just keep having these pot shots from outside the box.
That never happens when you need a goal either.
No.
If you need a goal, they go down the corner every fucking time.
Yeah.
One-on-one with the keeper, they just run out to the corner with the ball.
But that's it. It's like 89 minutes, 57 seconds gone, and the lads are going gung-ho for a goal when, like, they don't need one. Like.
Oh, fantastic.
Sabadell here for their equaliser, hopefully.
Fuck that. I feel like I've about 3 or 4 accumulators on. I feel like I've every team twice in opposite directions.
You can end up doing it to yourself some days, especially like when you go down to the pub on a Saturday and then all of a sudden, these bets are looking great, and then you look down and you're like, shit, you got Preston to win in one, you got Blackburn to win in the other.
Best case scenario, you're just slightly below break.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to get the SerieA game back on now. Watch the last 15 minutes. I've done the same at the same time as you two. I put my 15 quid bank on another goal. So I'm either double. Yeah. So it's either doubling my money or zero.
What, like 45 quid between us now on another goal there? It's like the roller all over again.
Where were we?
Could have been a penalty, actually. What were you saying, Lee?
No, I was just looking on the YouTube at the chat there, just seeing just a few comments coming in and stuff. So I was laughing about the response any bets will do.
Do we know, Keith?
It was a long time ago.
Was it?
Oh my God.
We're actually quite poor for anyone who is still watching us. That we're quite poor at answering comments. We get a bit engrossed in the football and we end up missing the comments.
Yeah, no, fair play, Keith. Fair play.
Those spread bets are lethal, though. If you was like, you end up losing more money than you put in. God, this game is
corner count went to 7 in fucking.
Come on.
Thing. I don't know whether it's going to go to 8 or not.
What's the time on the clock?
None left.
Or in the second minute at 4 minutes of injury time.
Oh, so it could go to a second corner from. It's still showing it as a corner here for Augsburg. They haven't taken it yet.
Yeah,
so
don't
it easily
rule
could. Huh?
My I saw it there, but my stream hasn't got onto.
Oh, I'll click off
yet.
again. I'll click. I won't even look at it. I'll leave you.
See,
I need to get on this Mexico second division.
Who's playing?
Would you know the Mexican second division?
Only the teams that have been relegated recently.
Right. Well, they're odds-on favourites, but Jesus, good luck to me pronouncing this. It's CF Rabaqueros La Piedad. I
have no idea what you're trying to say. Let me go
come on, LB. Will you at least try? Will you? You're just dismissing it straight away.
And they're playing
like
Universidad. Universidad.
Oh my God! How is this not gone? Oh my God! I've never seen a goal mouth scramble like that. I've never seen a goal mouth scramble like that. Oh my God!
Go ahead, Slats. You were in the middle of your struggle there.
Yeah, I'm struggling now to even find them on Betfair. I don't know, is it a different team or?
I don't see them on live score. Is it actually in play?
Yeah, it's in play. It's 20 minutes in. So CF Rabaceros La Piedad at home to Universidad.
Sounds good.
Guadalajara.
Ah, man,
yeah,
come on. It's not as if it's a place you've never heard before.
But then, like, on Betfair, it's Riboceros de la Piedad versus...
Come here. We're looking for a segment to do with it's Slats reading out obscure football team names.
We should actually pick a name.
Don't even think I'm allowed to read that name of the team.
What word was that, Slats? All I heard was he grows.
The only word I can pronounce is Negros, but maybe it's not even pronounced that way. Leonese Negros UDG. But I don't even know if these are the same games. Like, the teams are so different on Betfair and Bet365. I don't even know.
Get it up here. I mean, we have a fucking Spanish speaker in the house, and he's giving you zero assistance at all.
Like, I'm trying to find it. I can't find the games anywhere. I mean, that word that you're saying is just a Spanish name for black, so it's not. It definitely is a legitimate word.
All right.
We should probably stop saying it, otherwise we'd be kicked off.
There's probably algorithms picking us up, and we're just never ever going to get a viewer again.
Every team is just on Negro.
I apologise. Anybody watching who's offended by it?
There's not much liquidity. It's like 1.8 to back, 1.9 to lay.
So that first crowd, Reboceros de la Piedad, never heard of them. They're probably
never heard of them. They're the ones I'm betting on anyway.
And then Leones, that other crowd, no, also don't know them. Now, these are definitely not recently relegated teams.
Celta Vigo are
League. Do you know who the other team? The Pioneros de Cancun. I bet you that's the stadium we went to.
Probably was, actually.
Let me click into this lot here.
Yeah, click it in there and see what it's. Did we not take a picture from there? That would be useful for the L.
Do you have a picture?
I'm sure I saw a picture of the stadium there.
We get there.
That was fantastic. We actually bribed a man who didn't even need to be bribed.
No.
What was that, like some security guard of the stadium or something, was it?
Yeah.
Some L fella.
He would have just let you in anyway.
We were like, thinking it was actually like here, you know what I mean? You wouldn't just walk into the fucking you know, that tunnel they have for where the team bus goes into the like Crow Park or the Viva. Like,
Yeah.
you don't just normally walk into those, but you do in Cancun. It's fantastic.
The stadium was so steep. Like, remember that?
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
man.
tiered.
I can't find even
Call
a
it-
picture.
Call it out there. What's the name of that ground?
You can call it out. I'm not chancing it again. I actually don't even.
Estadio
even think
Olímpico Andrés Quintana Roo. That's a mouthful. That's definitely it, though. Oh,
Yeah, Quintana Roo.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the
it.
state
Yeah.
that they're in. Yeah, that's coming up underneath Pioneros de Cancun. So that's definitely them. We were in their stadium. Right? That's my new late night
That's
team.
lit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's stadium. Can't believe Benevento didn't score. Bologna didn't score here as well. God damn it.
Just for anybody who's interested, Balotelli is on for Monza.
Balotelli. I'm gonna cash out my little bet, so
Yeah, oh God. Don't think I can even. Take a
They
couple
have
of
to
quid.
score. They have to.
Who are you looking at?
Monza. Like, there's no way they can't score. Anytime I've watched it, they've just been camped in Pisa's half.
Pisa, no. That's I can just feel it. You know the way you just have that feeling. That they're just gonna repel everything.
Oh, sweet. Sabadell equalised there. Oh, for fuck's sake. And now Zaragoza with a penalty. What a fucking roller coaster of emotion that was. Fuck's sake. I don't even get to enjoy this for a second. Unless they missed this penalty, of course.
Well, we have been the jinx to most penalties, so.
Yeah, it goes the way we don't want it to. I agree. I'm sure this one is too. Oh, for fuck's sake. I was even going to have a look at the cash out and everything. I was happy out with how that was going.
Who got the penalty?
Zaragoza.
Oh, instantly after.
Yeah. Oh, like, I mean, it's 71 minutes it's showing the goal as, and it's just 73 minutes now. So they had to get down the end of the pitch and give away a bloody penalty. And they're lining it up now to have a go at it.
Come on.
Come on and miss it, you fuckers. I don't know if it has a penalty ever
that
been
was
missed.
That was a very rugby-esque comment, lining it up to have a go at the penalty. Like.
Picking up a bit of grass, like checking the wind, you know.
yeah. Asking for the guy to throw on the fucking cook thing, like.
Oh, sweet. I think he fucking missed it. He did miss it.
No.
He did miss it.
Juanzo Narvaez.
We're like the Grim Reapers for penalties.
Oh, God.
It's absolutely shocking.
I wonder, like, we talked about it before. Like, do they get missed this often, or are we just stumbling across them?
No.
My massive draw bet is really getting killed by Monza here. I put them in. I've got the Zaragoza, Benevento, Hearts, and Preston matches, so I need a goal in 2 of those, but then I need 2 goals in the Monza game. Like, about €2 worth 276 now, but a swift 2,000 if all those goals come in. It's an absolute ridiculous bet.
That's, yeah, 0 to 0 or 0 to hero.
Yeah, or just 0 to 0.
Oh my God!
You were talking about penalties in rugby. I know it's the wrong time maybe to move on to it, but remind me to say it later on about they were talking on during the England-Scotland match about the old rules in rugby, like going way back. Some of them were absolutely gas.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Like
go on, sure, go through it now, sure.
Well, they were saying that the last time Scotland won in Twickenham, they didn't score a try, and they were talking about stuff. But back, like, I don't know, probably ages ago, 100 years ago, like when you scored a try, you didn't get any points. It just gave you the conversion, and the conversion was the only points you got. So like you scored the try, and that's why it's called a try. You got the try for a goal, and the goal was to kick it over the bar from there. So like imagine the effort, and they just give it to some half-drunk out half to try and give it a pot shot from the wing. Like I don't know when
the ball was probably just a fucking like rolled up jumper with a bit of string tied around it that you're trying to kick over the post.
So they got a try.
Was there no concept of a penalty then, or was a penalty like?
I don't know.
They could have been throwing digs on the pitch, and there wouldn't have been a penalty given. Like,
yeah. It was a good weekend of rugby though.
I mean, it's not even that long ago that there was no substitutes. I'd say going back to the 80s, there was no substitutes. So like, if you dislocated a shoulder or broken arm, you'd stay out in the pitch and just kind of try and tackle someone with your other arm. Or that's, you wouldn't get that involved in the game. You'd stand back away from it a bit. You might stand out in the wing and just try and block someone,
But come here,
hardy bastards.
Some of the things you see for the line-outs, it's just like the boys standing there in a huddle, right? And it's just thrown into the middle and everyone's jumping.
There was no lifting. There was no lifting.
No lifting or nothing.
Lifting, I'd say, was only even maybe in the 90s. It's pretty recent.
Yeah.
It was like a free-for-all. Yeah, they all just leap up and try and swing an arm at the ball. I know. It's mad. And the scrums as well. The way now you've all this crouch, touch, engage. They'd come together, they just would come in a swarm and form like fucking Transformers or something, and just be straight into this, I don't know what you'd call it, just this fucking monsoon of men just bound in together and the ball thrown in the middle of them. I don't know how there weren't necks broken every match.
Yeah.
LB, how's the Bologna game going there?
Scrappy. I don't see it going in. Don't see it coming up now, to be quite honest about it. Doesn't look great.
Whereas Zaragoza's gonna do me out of this, I think. I need a goal in Zaragoza badly.
Got suspended in the Hearts game.
Why do you need a goal in the Zaragoza game, Lee? I thought you backed the draw there.
No.
It's one
maybe
all,
I didn't.
One all Hearts.
Boom.
I think you backed the draw in the Polish game and doubled it up with a draw in the Spanish game, I thought you said.
Here's an interesting one. I can take
Portugal.
My
massive
draw one is actually giving me a fairly reasonable cash out now. It's all on 2 goals in the Monza game. Are you still watching that, Gary?
Yeah. Pisa kind of came into it a bit, so if Monza get one, they are well in it, but I can see their heads dropping if they don't get one fairly quickly. That way they need one before 80 minutes, I would say. But they're on a goal. I've just intercepted at the halfway line and on attack here, 2-on-2, and the defender got back well, but Monza are going so attacking they could be caught in a counter attack.
Yeah.
That Hearts goal. I assume it's gone in a while ago if you all know about it, but it was a penalty anyway. Fuck me up.
What did you have, Queen of the South there?
Yeah.
Or did you just back all the teams that were winning?
You just backed everything against everything we said, so you could.
That was pretty much it. Yeah.
Just listening, I was just slowly dripping them into the fucking thing until the odds got high enough, and then backed them. So
I cashed out anyway of that draw bet. Just took a tenner back.
So how we so come here, is the goal just to win the competition tonight, get the most profit?
Yeah,
which I won't be doing, I don't think, unless.
Are we going to keep a weekly tally of who wins weekly, who finishes with the most profit, or are the least losses?
Well, LB's plan for how we kind of compete in this is more of a head-to-head, so it won't. Well, I'm not sure if it would be your profit, but it might just be a kind of a win, draw, lose kind of.
Yeah, we might have a sort of an announcement for our followers or our viewers next week. We'll have the format a bit more nailed down, but it might be more of just a win, don't win type of scenario as opposed to tracking the profit. It's a bit heavy to be tracking the P&Ls, although happy to let
and more, we'll just have a one-on-one kind of head-to-head each week rather than 4 lads.
I thought we were going to do, because I thought we were going to do that and then have a 20 each night and just be lumping on all sorts of stuff to see who comes out with money.
Yeah, I'm happy for that to continue on. Not that it's doing me any favours at the minute, but happy to plough ahead with it.
Was there about 7 minutes extra time in Portugal or something? Because I definitely looked at that game a second ago and it was 52 minutes and now it's back to 46. Or maybe I'm just going backwards in time.
Dorian Gray? Is that what he was called?
There was someone called Dorian Gray, yeah.
She's not the fellow who moved.
I'm trying to think of where's that from?
He's not the fellow who grew younger. started really old and got younger and younger.
That was Benjamin Button, wasn't it?
That's all I'm thinking of, Benjamin Button. Yeah.
Dorian Gray was about the mirror. He was like something about it, looking at himself in the mirror. Oh,
the picture of Dorian Gray.
The name of Danny Dyer's character in the Football Factory, or what he gets called in the Football Factory.
Dorian Gray is a fictional character and the protagonist of Oscar Wilde's 1980 novel.
It's a painting of him, actually, isn't it? There's a painting of him.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, that's the full extent of what I know about him.
I mean, I'm reading out of Wikipedia here, so anyway, it's not the guy I was thinking of.
I'm sure people tuned in to hear about that as well.
Yeah.
And the Queen of the South yellow card as well.
Fuck's sake, I feel like the most money that went on any match was the three of us fucking getting on this Bologna Benevento for another goal. It's not looking good.
Yeah, no. It was really just a chase because I won my fate in LB, but
it was a complete FOMO bet. LB he basically
only because I said it's suspended, and then you two jumped on and I followed you on.
One degenerate following the other, the blind leading the blind.
You told us that there was a goal, and we just thought we were getting ahead of the mark.
It was suspended.
All you were sort of doing was going, go!
Sweet, the Rubber Ocros La Piada dad got a goal there.
Oh, wow.
If anybody wants to know how you can still blow a gambling, keep watching this stream.
Yeah, we should.
I won the bet. I don't know what the problem is. It's only the second division in Mexico.
Oh God. I assume there was no more goals than Hearts, no?
No, full time.
Screen here.
1-1 full time. Yeah. I think that's it.
It's going to end here, Blackburn Preston. So.
Yeah, I think we're pretty much at the end of the road here. Is everyone out? There's nothing live, just maybe a goal in the game.
I backed 1-1 at the start of the Sabadell Zaragoza game, and it's 1-1 84th minute.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gone anyway.
I was not that it makes any difference. I was going to actually put that in the combined ACCA, but I just thought it was a bit too fucking ambitious. And back in the draw, I wasn't going to do 1-1, but just the draw at 13-8. What we've talked about, the kind of pain of back in draws, you're just hoping nothing happens for 90 minutes.
Yeah, although if they pan out the way your one went, it's quite nice. Yeah, the Bologna game is over anyway, so that's the end of that road.
So I need Monza not to score for, I think, what was it, 5 or 6 to 1 for about €20, and then I need that Portuguese game to stay as a draw for 55.
55, you get
that'd be a decent night, like.
Yeah.
I have to say, the Monza game is looking likely now for you.
Yeah, that was a great call.
We'll see. As soon as you say it, all right, that's when it goes to shit. So there's a long way to go.
Their heads are dropping there, so I can see Pisa holding them out.
Oh God! So Slats, what's the crack with the? I mean, the fucking. I don't know whether we might be all excited out by the football tonight, but like, have you looked at the rugby for the weekend?
Yeah, I had a look at it. All right. Yeah, there's a few things going. Like, so the England game is on tomorrow. They're home to Italy, and the spread on them is 36 points, which, considering they didn't score a try last week, it looks pretty high. You've that kind of fear that, well, not fear, but I mean, if you were to back Italy plus 36, you'd have that fear that England would just absolutely bounce back and try and kind of, right the wrongs of the game last week and just take their frustration and anger out on Italy and absolutely destroy them. But 36 seems too high there. Like, if that was maybe 22 or 25 points, you'd be kind of thinking that's reasonable enough. 36 looks high there for me.
Did you watch the Italy game, Slats, last week?
I saw the first half of it and then highlights of the whole thing.
They were actually quite good, like.
Yeah, and anything I've kind of read about it, like that. I mean, it's a common theme that Italy were good despite a 50-10 scoreline. Like,
yeah. So I think that I was actually thinking the same thing. I think England, like, they just didn't look like they're at the races. Like, I think the commentator said
and
it a
it
few times. It was
completely
the
makes
Saracens.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry.
half their team is playing in the B division, and they're just not up to steam, like up to speed. Like, it seems all they can do is just give it to Itoje and just let him bash through the middle. And if he's not getting through, they're not scoring.
Like, Vunipola just looked so unfit last week. Like, he's so sluggish, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, they're not playing rugby. That the championship hasn't started yet. Like, they're not even playing. They played a few warm-up games and lost a few of them as well. But so it's not like a normal match where where everything's kind of going as standard and they lose a game and then they come back out the next week and make up for it. They're not they're not up to the standard they should be right now. Like, I just don't see it happening. Then Scotland, Wales. Scotland are -5. I fully expected Ireland to win comfortably last week, considering they came close with 14 men. I don't think Wales look particularly good. They have a few injuries, and Scotland are gonna. The only fear is that Scotland are still going to be like literally hung over tomorrow. After beating England and Twickenham, I don't know how their level of professionalism is.
That's what we're going to find out about Scotland. Will they kick on from that and actually stop being such kind of like such a B team, or will it just be like, oh, we beat England, that's our World Cup win, and then just get smashed? But Wales were like, that's the thing though. I was kind of hoping, we said it before, like, you think, oh, you've kind of got a good insight now, you get a great price at the weekend, and then you see it, the bookies have it priced exactly the same. I thought Wales win against us might make them look a bit overrated, but they were shite. Like, they were absolutely terrible against us, and
really were. Yeah,
I think Scotland are rightly favourites.
Yeah, I'd be on Scotland -5, but it could be close enough to that too. Like, and it could be a tight enough game. And then Ireland, France. France were -4, and the last I saw, they drifted out to -5. And like, I mean, given the players Ireland are missing, I think, and the ability of that French team at the moment, the confidence of them, and that, I think France -5 is still probably likely there. I'd love to, see the Irish team. I'd love to see Billy Burns make up for, the week he had last week, the disaster he had last week. But with him starting, Gibson Park starting, James Ryan missing, Peter O'Mahony missing, along with Murray and Sexton, it just, do
you know what though? I'm like, Murray and Sexton need to just get out of that team and just move on with their lives and let the team actually.
Yeah, the problem is, like, there are so many young out-halves coming up through the Irish ranks. It's going to be really exciting in 2 or 3 seasons to see who's going to make it. I sent you on that interview with O'Gara at LB, didn't I? Where he was talking about, as coach of La Rochelle, he approached Munster for one of the young out-halves, Jack Crowley, who's meant to be a complete prodigy at 10. Like, Munster have just seen Ben Healy this season, to the tail end of last season, come through the youth system, and he's done great for the Irish youth team as well. And, kind of looking like the next big thing to come through the Munster academy. And then, O'Gara's there trying to poach this Crowley lad who's, he played for the Munster A's there, I think last night against Connacht, but he's getting very little game time for the senior team, and he's meant to be phenomenal. Like, so you've Ross Byrne's younger brother, Harry Byrne, who is getting a bit of game time for Leinster, but he's not at the international level yet. And then I think Ulster and Connacht both have a decent young out half coming up through the ranks. At the moment, there isn't a good replacement there for Sexton, and yeah, maybe Murray more so. There's a few players there that you wouldn't be that, shocked or disappointed seeing being given a run out. I'm not a massive fan of Gibson Park, but any Leinster fan I know is a big fan of him. So, half of me kind of thinks maybe I haven't seen enough of him, or half of me thinks, maybe they're just kind of, he's playing for their team. They're a good team. They're generally favourites for every game. it's one of those things that, like, if a good team is winning matches regularly, their scrum half is going to look like he's playing well because he's going to be involved in every facet of the attack, like, you know.
Come here, like, I was watching the Ireland games. I was just like, Wales fucking, I can't remember his name now, of course, because I want to speak about him, but like, Wales' big winger that had he had loads of concussions over the years.
George North.
Yeah, like, he's a beast, right? Every fucking team seems to have apart from Scotland, but like Ireland, Keith Earls playing on the wing. Like, I like him, he's nippy and stuff, but like, when was the last time we had a big dominant fucking finisher on the wing? Like,
well, North was actually playing in the centre against Ireland, but you're right. I mean, he's more of a winger. Like, he's known more of a winger. He's played most of his career on the wing. He played 13 for Wales on Saturday.
But I would think, like, never mind the size of our wingers must be generally the least involved in attack and play of any.
Do we ever fucking finish moves out wide like that?
I mean, Earls has scored plenty of tries in his career. I think he's the third top try scorer for Ireland of all time. Like,
is he?
Yeah, he was joint with, I think, Hickey, and then I think it's just O'Driscoll's top. I don't think he's passed up Tommy Bowe yet, but I could be wrong. He could be up to 2. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't remember. Like, Shane Horgan was probably the kind of bulkiest winger we've had in the last 20 years playing for Ireland.
Shane Horgan. Yeah.
But, you know, I don't think you need to have a beast of a winger or the kind of Jonah Lomu thing. Like, having a nippy small winger or, you know, smaller than that is fine too. It's just about utilising them, really, you know.
About finishing, yeah. Like, you're mad, like, geez, I can't even fucking remember. I mean, I haven't watched a game of rugby in a long time, like, but I mean, I enjoyed the Irish game at the weekend.
Yeah, it had its moments. I mean, Ireland played well with 14 players. It was disappointing with that that no red cards for the tournament bet absolutely blew up in my face in the first weekend.
Straight away, 13 minutes in.
I know, and I was happy that I'd avoided a red. France-Italy was a game I was kind of looking at going, that could be an early red card in the tournament that could do you out of it. But I got through that game, was happy enough. Got through England, Scotland. I was like, all right, good enough start. And then O'Mahony, 15 minutes in.
What was he at? Like, was it like do you think he was trying to intentionally fucking hit him, like, and get away with it, or do you think it was accidental, or what?
A lot of people, as when it happened, like, were kind of going, like, definite red. He meant, I do think it was a definite red for the rules they have in place, but people were kind of going, you know, he was kind of being careless there. But when you watch it again in real time, Tipperick, who's like an unreal poacher, jackler over a ruck, was straight over the top of the ruck and his hands on it. And when O'Mahony's starting his lunge in on that, you can see that's what he's eyeing up. He's going for Tipperick, and the whole ruck and tackle kind of rolls around. Your man's head kind of pops up to the point where Tipperick was. If you look at it again, you can see where his head ends up is where Tipperick's arms were, where O'Mahony's aiming for. So I don't think he meant it at all. But the rules are, you know, if you're connecting with someone's head like that with your shoulder, it's a red card. They just have to protect the player, given all that concussion shite that's been coming out lately. Like,
all that concussion shite, yeah.
They have to, like, I mean, it's horrible part of the kind of game or the aftermath of people's careers. Like, so they have to look after the players and, you know, change the kind of approach players are taking to hitting those rucks. I don't think there's any malice or anything from O'Mahony at all.
I was just talking about them concussions. Like, Sexton obviously got his fucking bells chimed again. Like, and that, like, the coach when he was in France, the doctor.
Yeah. I read Sexton saying it during the week. He was kind of a bit kind of tongue in cheek, or a bit just, I don't know. But he was kind of going, I thought it was like doctor-patient confidentiality, and you're going like, I genuinely thought it was. I thought that's a massive legal case there. That his doctor's coming out going, oh Jesus,
there definitely would be. I read that as well. Yeah, like,
what did you say? Like, he had 30 concussions or something?
Yeah, and that he should have retired and blah blah. Yeah. I mean,
but do they not have to report the concussions, like, at the team level? Like, so did they just not report them at the time, or what happened? Or did he change his tune afterwards, the doctor?
I don't know. I don't know if it has to be reported in any sort of public capacity that he, however many concussions he had, like.
But maybe not public. I thought the teams had to say who had concussions, who had head injuries.
Well, not back when Sexton was at Racing. It wouldn't have been. There was no HIA or any of that stuff. That was, like 5 or 6 years ago, more maybe.
But he went through a phase of teams thinking he was the weak link, and they used to try and smash him, didn't they? And he went through a phase.
There's been a bit of that. There still is. Like, to be fair, a lot of out-halves will be targeted anyway because they're like central to the team, and they're going to be slighter than any forward that you can be hitting on a regular basis during the match. Like you can send your number 8 towards a 10, and maybe do a bit of damage, shake him a bit. Like, so I wouldn't say it's just been Sexton, but definitely it adds to it when they know that he's susceptible to an out head injury that they might.
I have like a good half dozen memories of him like absolutely panned out on the
pitch. So do I, and like badly fucking fucked up. Like on the pitch.
There's no doubt it was a thing, and like they even said him going to France, where it's this tough league with a lot of games, a lot of fixtures. You're playing every week. They really try and squeeze in the matches through the season. That it wasn't going to suit them, but then they also have a bit more rotation. You might have 2 out halves that kind of play every second game, or one of them might play 2/3 of the games. So, that he might have got a bit of a break, but it's definitely a tough league to be playing in like that if you are kind of susceptible to that head injury stuff,
Yeah, no, it's fucking tough. Like, and I mean that was like a dirt. Like, and I'm honestly surprised that doesn't happen more often, right? Like the way that happened, and he got a smash of a knee to the face, right, and then he's down. Like the way people are diving in around the place, I'm surprised there's not more on. But he was so pissed off coming off.
He's always pissed off coming off. He never, He's competitive to the point of, like, you'd be impressed with him, but you'd also be going like, Jesus Christ, calm down. Like, you have to be sometimes. He's just so competitive. He always looks in a huff when he's taken off and sitting on the bench after. And I guess that's the part of a professional, like that you have to be a bit like that too. But he definitely takes it to an extreme.
They had,
and he just has a look of him that he's kind of throwing a bit of a strop or something as well.
Just very fucking
kind of grace about it, like. So I suppose it's a bit of a balance. Like you want someone who's that eager, but you also want them to have a bit of kind of grace about themselves when they're being taken off.
They had the Ian Dempsey breakfast show on the radio, and like one of the skits they do regular is O'Gara, and but he actually had him on during the week. Like he seems like you've just asked him generally about how he's getting on in France, how he's enjoying it. Like La Rochelle are like they're second division, or they were a second division club. Are they up in the I
think they're top of the French league at the moment.
That's what he was saying. He was like trying to push them on and convince them that they can win a fucking top 14 title and stuff. He said he loved it. Like he seemed like he was loving it down there. Like I don't know much about it, but like it just got me like about Sexton. Like, and do you remember the clash they would have had back in, like who would be seen as the better career, shall we say?
Depends who you ask. Well, I mean, decorated career would be Sexton because he has more championships and more titles in the Heineken Cup and Pro 14 and everything else. It's hard to determine who's the best player. Like when, like O'Gara but he was so instrumental to their success, and their game was built around him so much. Back in the kind of early 2000s. And he was massive for Irish rugby. I was actually only watching O'Driscoll's hat-trick against France back in 2000, and it was like Stringer, Raj, O'Driscoll, like they were all kind of just within a season or two of international rugby. And it just brought on that kind of golden age of Irish rugby. And that's the thing, like I think a lot of what those kind of players did then was, just kind of instill that kind of belief and expectation in the players that came after them, So the fact that Raj came first, and I'm obviously completely biased about it, but the fact that Raj came first kind of would make me swing his favour between the two of them, that like he had more to do, whereas, you know,
that the standards, like,
Leinster rugby was in a better place when Sexton came along anyway. Irish rugby was in a better place when Sexton came along. So he's achieved more in terms of trophies, silverware and that. But
yeah, but O'Gara, like, again, me not being a massive rugby fan, but like, as you said, for Munster, everything came through O'Gara, and it was like, you know, every kick he did set up an attack, like, and that was their plan. They kicked to the corners, and his accuracy from penalties, and like, they knew if they gave away a penalty, it was going to be 3 points, so they got a little bit more space or whatever. And then when he was kicking to the corners, he was always accurate. Like, whereas I always felt with Sexton, especially in Sexton's early years, his kicking wasn't great and he wasn't that reliable. Like, but he was probably more expansive in general play. You know, so he was still important, but not. Yeah. I don't think it was built around them, if you know what I mean. That'd be my take outside looking in. But I also think that O'Gara just has a little bit of a laddish, legendary side that comes across as being someone you're just like, I kind of prefer him, like, you know. So. But I think it's hard to compare them because they're two different types of players, really.
They're very different.
They play the same position. Like, you know? It's like trying to compare a defensive midfielder and an attacking midfielder in a football game. You know, two of them are midfielders, but they're totally different games. Like.
Yeah, I agree. And like, in fairness as well to Raj, he's gone on since his playing career. You know, he's been pretty successful in the coaching side so far. Like, and I mean, I just think he's a great kind of pundit or that as well. Like, you know, just writing and talking about rugby. He's very interesting.
He's very entertaining when he talks about it.
Yeah. So like, I know that it's a completely different thing than comparing them as players, but I wouldn't see Sexton going on to be a coach based on what we're talking about. You know, like Tron Strops taking off, that kind of that side of him. I wouldn't see him, you know, going into coaching success that Raj has so far.
Yeah, I think there's a good few pundits coming on, like, you know, Ruby Walsh on horse racing and Raj with rugby and things like that. There's a good few really good pundits coming along now, as well. Like, you know, I think there's been a while there where
we've definitely gone through like, a tough spell of
like, so it's starting from out in the other side. Like. George Hook.
George Hook.
Brent Pope and co.
Brent Pope, yeah. And my boy Conor O'Shea used to be on with them.
My boy. Well. As long as we keep the talk out of the shower, the slats will be all right.
And what was it, McGurk? Was the host back then. I used to love that panel, like a good mixture of entertainment and
McGurk was funny, all right, yeah.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, I don't like him. You know, I don't know.
Is it TV3? You have the Irish coverage at the minute.
Like Virgin Media, they're called now, and he's on that. Yeah,
that whole show is just tough to watch.
Yeah, I find it that way as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I've heard him
the host on that Virgin show.
I do enjoy him on that.
Yeah, I wouldn't really listen to it on the radio, but on the TV it's awful. Like, I sent you on the thing. It was like they're on about Finn Russell. It's like better to have him in the team than not. So like, what a way to describe one of the top players in the world. Like, he just dominated, won them that game. Like, I suppose there's an empty jersey there. We might as well bring him into the team. Yeah.
Before we move off the rugby talk, just in case we do, I was eyeing up like a first try score bet from 3 games, and then I was like, sure, what if you threw them together as a treble? But so the England-Italy game.
So it usually happens. Oh look, this is a 16 to 1 shot, and that's an 8-1 shot. And this, what would happen if you put them in trouble?
But these are nice. So
this one could have me a good weekend, and this one could have me retire, and I'll do that one.
This is it exactly, yeah. So George Ford is in at 10 for England, and it's one of those games. Like, I mean, it's Italy. So often you find that the try scorer doesn't have to be a winger. The ball doesn't have to get out that far. You know, the overlap can just be from the back.
A space will open up beside a ruck, and he'll just pick up the ball and run straight in under the post.
Yeah, or that's it. I was thinking about Youngs, and Youngs was 10-1. The scrum half, he actually drifted out to 12-1, which I don't think is bad value for Youngs, because it's that sort of thing. He's just picking it up off the back of the ruck. But then Ford is going to be first receiver, so he was 20-1. So I've just kind of rolled the dice on him. Stuart Hogg, I do think is good odds at 14-1 for Scotland at home to Wales. He was like man of the match last day. He was brilliant, but he's just that sort of player. Like, when things are going well, you know, that sort of way. Like, he'll just be in the middle of everything Scotland are doing. So 14-1 there, and then Ireland France. I mean, I could name about 5 French players that are likely to be first try scorer. But I think if Ireland scored, it could be up around the pack. That, I mean, if Ireland are going to do well and they're at home against France in a game they need to win, they'll be trying to beat them up front, and there'll be a lot of the kind of that sort of picking and going. Ian Henderson is starting. He came off the bench the last day. He's starting with James Ryan out. He's actually captain, given that Ryan, Sexton, and O'Mahony are all out. So, you know, he'll be up for the game. He's 40-1 for the first try there. So the combination of those three is like 13,000-1.
And has Trixie written all over it, Slats, those prices.
I was thinking Trixie too, but then I was like, yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I suppose. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a safe bet or anything like, but sure, it's worth a quid.
That's really tasty. I'm assuming we're going to throw a 2-liner article up on the website just so everybody has the.
Don't even put an article, just put the bet on, screenshot it, throw it up.
Well, I think I'll put a $5 on it anyway, or maybe, yeah, what you were saying, I'd be maybe just the £1 Trixie. Like,
I actually had a bet picked out, and your analysis kind of agreed with it all the way through, so I was pretty happy with it. But it's a pretty measly 7-1, so I'm just gonna.
Is it the three spreads just, or?
Yeah, so Scotland minus, Italy plus, and I went over 35 points in the Ireland match.
Over 35 points. Yeah, that's an interesting one. Yeah, I'd have to look at it a bit more, but just gut instinct, you would think.
Yeah, that's what I went in on gut. Like, I saw the 3 of those is 7 and a bit to 1, so that was my pick on those. And then you obviously went, you kind of slightly sided with Scotland and definitely agreed with Italy. So yeah, seems like a good. I can see Italy. You know, they had so much bad luck against France. It was only 40 points. You know, and France are way better than England at the minute. And
absolutely.
Just, you know, so 36 seems way too high. I think it's a coin toss, like you said. If Scotland are going to be, you know, keep building, or just have they peaked? But I think they're going to destroy Wales.
Yeah, I mean, they're much better than Wales, and they're playing at home, and they're on like form. Wales's win, you know, obviously 14 players, and still took a kind of a lot of mistakes from Ireland, and you know, they could have
a lot
won it at the death, like. But
and maybe the Ireland one then is because I can't really, like, France are the bet, but I just think it's hard to know. So
and as well, like, it'd be a more enjoyable game not to be back in France. To a lot of points.
Yeah.
They were. I think. England were like 2-1, and France.
What have those odds updated to?
France are 2. No, France might be 6-5 now, I think, to win it. They're big favourites. You see, one of the reasons France mightn't win it would be because they have to play away in Dublin. But, you know, when you're missing, it's probably like Ireland's 4 most senior players. I mean, I know Cian Healy has over 100 caps, more than any of them. But, you know, Murray, Sexton, O'Mahony, and Ryan missing, like, it's just the core of the team, like. So, you know, and then they have to play in Twickenham, but, you know, England haven't looked great. So Yeah, France favourites makes sense. Or France 6-5 makes sense.
Nice.
Henshaw, I thought was brilliant. Yeah.
Mm.
Well, I mean, the line he took for Ireland's try for Tyke Burns' try. I mean, that was pretty electro. I mean, he took it. He ran right back around the ruck that the ball started from. You know what I mean? He took it on the open side and brought it, carried it around the blind side, made, found a gap for himself and set up the try. And he had a few decent breaks like that. He can be like he can play some exciting rugby. He runs a good line and that, like, yeah. I do find that Ringrose is a bit overhyped, and I know LB that you'd agree with me on this one.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's a consistent player, but I agree, or like kind of what you're alluding to, Lee, is that he doesn't have consistently show any sort of flair. When he gets the ball in hand, I don't think opposition fans or opposition players are shitting themselves that much.
Oh, that's the way I would look at these players. Like, if we have aspirations of being the best team in Europe, like, which other teams in the Six Nations are taking those players into their starting 15? It's France and England, not a chance. So then you're just like, right, well then they're not the kind of elite level of the top few teams in the world. So that's the end of it. Like,
I mean, it hasn't always been the case, and like, I mean, they're expecting Ringrose to make the Lions tour. I mean, Ringrose should make the Lions tour, but he wouldn't be guaranteed a start by any means. Like,
do you think that some of it is with the popularity of rugby now in Ireland, that some of these lads get hyped up and kind of believe themselves before they're actually like us?
We've talked,
and
me
I
and
actually think
Slats have ranted
the
about
thing
this.
I've seen your man Keenan has actually done well, I think, but he's been pumped as being the next best thing, like, that way, and it kind of reminds me of back in the Premiership years when you'd have people like fucking Danny Cadamadri and stuff being put out there as, like people being put out there when they're 16, 17 as being these world beaters, and then they kind of believe the hype and don't push on. I don't know whether there's any
Me and
angle.
Slats have talked about it. Like, you can just pick. Yeah, definitely. Like, they all, like, at that level of sport, physicality is such a small difference, or physical skill. It's the difference between all those players. Obviously, the Brian O'Driscoll types were on a different level, but most of them are more or less the same. It's who has the mindset to move on. Like, but we've joked about it, Slats. Which young Leinster player is going to get the big write up in the Irish Times, and then 3 weeks later, the whole country is saying, "Oh, he'll be in the starting 15 soon," and then it's just like, right, but we're just going to get fucking results handed back to us. Lowe was shite as well on Sunday. I thought he was terrible. I don't think he's ever been good for Ireland. He's another one.
Yeah, he scored a try against Australia one time about 8 years ago or something.
Yeah, they always do well in the summer and the autumn when the other countries aren't taking it as seriously, and we take it really seriously. And Stockdale,
yeah.
He looks like something at a train spotting now. He looks like an extra out of that. Completely. I don't know what. Yeah.
I think he is. He must be in the squad.
Oh yeah, but that first season in the Six Nations was ridiculous. Like,
yeah, I don't think anyone had scored 7 tries in the Six Nations before him. Like, it was a record of any country man in the tournament. Like, but
yeah, you definitely see it in other sports too. They kind of peak too soon, and maybe it's the mentality, or that people get in, start clinging on, and kind of wrecking their head or something. But yeah. do it long term. I'll dig
I think
up the
some of
link
it
and
is
send
that
it
like
into the
I
group.
found out like, but
Yeah, well, a lot of it is just not luck, but like they get all the breaks kind of happen for them in clusters. But there's a really good video on YouTube about basketball scouts looking at players and like into high school, into college, and the end of college into pro, and who like these lads who basically get fluke 6 months of just looking like they're absolutely deadly. But basically, how do the scouts, like, what are they looking for to say, right, this guy looks like he's red hot now, but we're not going near him? And just it's really, I think basketball is a particularly strong example of that sport, of where that happens, where people just hit this form and they look like they're going to, go to the moon, as the common phrase at the minute, and then it just goes nowhere. It's class. Mm-hmm. No, just the phrase "fox in the box."
yeah,
I love
no.
it. Yeah, yeah. But like when you say the word like luck, you get a reaction out of people because it sounds like you're saying he's not good and he's. But there's a huge amount of luck in everything. In sport, is just you get like there's teams that get bad luck. I remember one of the years when Liverpool, I don't know, was it Brendan Rodgers last year, and like the amount of times they hit the post was like fucking insane in comparison to every other team and every other year. You get something like that, and those goals go in. Brendan Rodgers is a Premier League winning manager. His whole life is different. There's
So,
unbelievable
like,
bad luck. Well, it would be. It's a whole
It
different
actually
kind
would
of.
be, yeah,
his wife left him. He didn't.
yeah.
But that kind of luck is huge, So,
But even just going back to Stockdale for a second, like when he scored those 7 tries, like 3 of them were intercepts, which
mhm.
isn't necessarily luck. It's him reading the opposition well.
But we said it at the
But at the
time.
same time, after that, like I remember they played England in a World Cup warm up, and he shot out of the line twice, and they given them an overlap because he didn't get the ball, and they ran in for an easy try. And you're going like you look like an absolute clown on one hand, and the other hand, you're the top try scorer in any Six Nations history,
But we said that at the time with Stockdale stats. I don't know if you remember that. Like he just played the most high risk game going, and it worked out. And now he's presumably playing the same way, and it's not working for him. And that's actually, I do think, a problem with a lot of those young Irish backs is that they get this flair kind of moniker attached to them, where they just like, so that thing that, well, I first remember it with Zebo, where they kind of run on the spot for a second and then change direction. And they all seem to do it now and just go nowhere and just come, like you said, break the line early, lose momentum, wreck things for the team. But if you kind of, it's very hard to keep that up over a course of 5, 6, 10 years, So, yeah. Oh,
He
yeah.
still has. Like, Zebo would surely still get into the team if there wasn't that stupid rule there.
Of course he
I
would.
think so.
Like,
I watched the highlights.
It doesn't make sense. And it makes sense to me why they have that rule there. But I think that they should do like a wild card or two where, like only
when
3 out of the squad can be allowed. Like.
When Sexton was at Racing, he was starting for Ireland.
Yeah,
the rule was in place.
Like we don't have the finances or the depth of talent to have that rule. It's fine for New Zealand to do it. I think
no, I disagree with that, to be honest. I mean, I think it's exactly why we need the rule. Like I did.
No, I was going to say if you sit down with a player like him, like if he just turned around and said, "Listen, I want 800 grand a year," and they said we don't have the money, and he fucks off. Well, then you can say, right, he's playing like that's not right. But if he's just going, I want a central contract just for a bit of job security.
Oh, I mean, I agree with you on that. Like, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think if we have and like Donncha Ryan was out for a long time, he definitely would have been in the team.
A massive one, yeah.
And I mean, I don't know if any of you watch the English Premiership, but like they're talking every week on the show, they're saying Paddy Jackson is the best 10 Ireland have. So like, there's 3 potential starters for us excluded because they play in the wrong countries.
I mean, Jackson's
we're not good enough.
Different story.
Paddy has a little bit more to do. But
I mean, I'd still love to see him back.
Yeah, no, but I mean, like,
but it's not
basically
the only
that whole thing was.
Out.
Yeah, but either way, we don't have enough players to make a thing that we're just going to keep people out because we want to keep the domestic game going. Like you can
but the problem with it is on the opposite side that if you okay it, then
but you can manage it. Like if you can say to Zivo, right, you're worth 350 a year, and he says no, I can get 7 in France. You say okay, you get 7, but you won't play, and let them make it kind of have a grey area there, not just this black and white kind of. We're not giving you anything, so just freaking play part-time down in Munster and hope for the best. Like, I think it's too black and white for a country that doesn't have the depth of talent that we don't have.
Not anymore, but there was probably 5 years that he would have, and they let him go. And I remember there was a kind of a good comparison between him and Jamie Heaslip, because I think Heaslip's contract got renewed at the time, and he might have been the highest paid player for Ireland of all time at that point. And their birthdays were only something like 3 days apart. And I think after Heaslip's contract was renewed, he might have played for Ireland maybe 4 or 5 times again. And Donncha Ryan went on, for Racing up until now, still a massive player for them. Making Highland Cup finals every second season. Like,
that's actually something that I'm personally a little bit worried about, because Sexton is saying he wants to be part of the next World Cup squad, even though he's going to be 36 when we get there. And it's just like, is there anyone in the IRFU probably wouldn't go against his wishes, So if he wants to be there, he'll get his contract, and it's just going to keep sort of suffocating out the younger generations coming through.
But it's strange, isn't it? Because, like, Ireland rugby was a bit cutthroat in the past, I thought. Like, just my mind, my memory is, who was the kicker before O'Gara? David Humphreys, yeah. And, like, O'Gara kind of came in and knocked his nose out of joint fairly swiftly, and, there was a bit of aggro.
It was a fair bit of back and forth between which of them started and which of them was subbing for the other. It wasn't that quick.
But it wasn't quick, but it wasn't like the in situ one wasn't happy. And then when Sexton came along for O'Gara clearly wasn't happy. And that was a bit more kind of like, all right, you're over the hill, now we're bringing this new lad through. But it seems nowadays it's kind of like Sexton will get his way more often than not. Like, there's more player power now than before, maybe. I don't know.
But there was an argument for Sexton versus O'Gara and an argument for O'Gara versus Humphreys. But there's nobody better than Sexton.
Yeah,
there yet. It's just a problem. Like, Carty got it. Maybe harshly dropped, and then what you're saying, LB, where you've players overseas, that mightn't be getting picked. Jackson could be an option if they wanted to bring him in.
But I just think like Sexton,
they couldn't do Jackson for there'd be uproar from.
Yeah, it'd be too controversial to fight his obvious or not obvious.
But I mean, like, your man will be 36 in that World. He'd be 36 in that World Cup. Like, you could say you'd bet your house that we won't win the World Cup at a 36-year-old.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
So I don't know why. Well, I do know why, but I won't say. Like, we're just keeping him in there because he wants to play. And if he's not the best, I still don't think we should be playing him.
Because they put high merit on winning 6 Nations, more so than maybe the other nations did, or certainly even, maybe France. like it's kind of high risk to kind of just throw all your youth in and hope that they kind of gel together. You want to bring them through, a few at a time.
Is this not the time to do it though as well with no fans?
Yeah, but you don't need to do it to all. Like, it's not like you say to Sexton, listen, we're going to rest you for this Six Nations. Like, if there's no one better than you next year, you're back in the team. Like, he's not going to lose anything by missing these matches. Yeah, exactly. It's so strange. It's like we said, we'll win all the off-year Six Nations and kind of we're never ready for the World Cups. Then, I don't get it.
Yeah, we've said that for a long time about Ireland, though. Like, they always peak too soon, a year too early or whatever. But yeah, I can see it in, if this was a normal year and you're looking at it going, right, is it France and England we've at home this season?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you get hockeyed against France, there's potentially people, and you get hockeyed against Wales and hockeyed against Scotland, potentially England is your last game or second last game, and people don't turn up. Now, mightn't happen that way. But that totally gets out the window when you're in a closed door situation anyway. So it doesn't matter if Ireland had got beaten 50-0 last week and 50-0 tomorrow, because still going to be no fans there in a couple of weeks' time. So it's all about just developing the players. So I don't know.
You kind of mean that to kind of turn against them, or to be
turn against them, or from a revenue perspective, the IRFU look at it going, we might only get 3,000 as opposed to 50,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Now I know rugby is so popular at the moment that probably isn't out there, but it would, if you got hockeyed in 3 or 4 games leading up to your last game, it could come into people to be like, oh, I'll go to the pub rather than go to watch the game or whatever. The kind of the non-hardcore 20% or whatever that would have tickets to the games,
Event culture.
Well, I assume the Slats would know this. Well, I don't even assume. I know Slats know this a lot better than me. But there's people who I know went to Ireland rugby matches in the late 90s, early noughties, who struggle to get tickets to Ireland rugby matches now because, they had kids or whatever and couldn't go for a couple of years and lost that kind of renewal of season tickets or whatever. And now they go in and they're kind of at the back of the queue. They can still get them through rugby clubs, but even that is kind of awkward. So I'd say the knowledge of people who were at rugby 15, 20 years ago is way better than the knowledge of people that were at rugby matches these days in Ireland.
I went to the game. So remember when I was over in London with Ian, we watched Ireland beating New Zealand.
Great day.
And then they played them again the week after or 2 weeks after in the Aviva. And I was at that game, and it was just the most corporate crowd I've ever seen at any sporting event. We were sitting right next. Yeah, well,
certainly in the Aviva, rugby matches in the Aviva are just they're the most passionless things I've ever seen.
We were sat right by the steps going down, to the exit or to the bar or whatever. And the flow of people just going up and down to the bar was crazy. And not even, the way you'd know if somebody gets a penalty in their own 22, then they're going to clear their lines. It's going to be a line out, still probably in their own half or halfway. There's your chance to nip out for, a pint or go to the Jacks. But it was Ireland would have a 5-meter scrum, and there was people. You were like, do you even understand that? This is one of their best chances of getting a try this game, and there's fellas just wandering down, getting their fucking gin and tonics and Yeah, you wouldn't see that in Thomond. No, not a bit of it.
But the knowledge thing is right as well, Gary, which actually was what Slats is saying. There's people in that stadium don't know what's going on the pitch, and they're just there to look good. No. Yeah. Yeah.
Get a photo up on Instagram with the pitch in the background or whatever.
But that's why I was saying that like, again, like 20 years ago, I think that you kind of had the same, whether Ireland were doing good or Ireland doing bad, they probably would have got the same crowd because you had that loyalty factor of, like, lads going to the games. And yeah,
that was
but
it.
now,
They were rugby fans.
now
Now
there's a
it's people.
percentage that,
It's a day out, like.
Yeah,
and
those people, John, on a cold February day, they're not going to go and watch Ireland if they know that they're going to get hockeyed, like,
Three quarters. They definitely. Now, I'd say that's a safe bet.
To be fair, I remember like being down in Cork, going to the pub, and it'd been absolutely thronged for like a Munster quarter-final or semi-final in the Heineken Cup, and then maybe 2 years later, they got knocked out of the group stage. I think this was back when you got placed into the Challenge Cup if you got knocked out of the group stage of the Champions Cup. So the Europa League to your Champions League. And I went down to the pub to watch a match. 2 other fellas down there watching, the Challenge Cup game.
Full table to yourself.
Yeah, like it was just pitiful. But I don't even mind it because I kind of like, like cutting the fat, like kind of clearing the bandwagon too, like, and you kind of know who the real fans are then down there,
Yeah.
But so I don't think like the Munster do have this image of like every single Munster fan out there is the the greatest fan of it.
So the only one who lost lots there.
Huh? Yeah, but there's bandwagons in any team in any sport. Like it's just it's definitely more extreme up in up and around Via Viva with the Irish success. Like, but yeah, there's pretender fans down in Munster too. Like,
well, look, on that cheery note, we're going to wrap it up here. I think we're running up on time, but just in a nice little twist, slats that Portuguese match finished 0-0.
So the Spanish one, was it?
No, the Portuguese one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Well, I got my.
Did you? Nice.
Fair play, Lee.
You're the week's winner.
Hello, mate.
Yeah, I think I'm up. I'd like to see your exact money because I think I'm up about €49. That 1-1 draw came good for me in Spain second division.
He backed down awful quick there. I'd say he's only up about 36 and he just rounded up. Anyway, yeah. No. Oh, yes. As soon as he got challenged. No, I'd say you won it. Actually, yeah. Don't worry about it.
He actually didn't put any bets on.
Yeah, no. Bets. He started with 25 and he got up to 32. Timed his 50. No.
Oh, you would have been ahead of me, so.
Absolutely. Photoshopped and all. Right. Thanks for tuning in. And it was a good show. Congratulations to the lads who made a bit of money. And we will see you at the same time next week.
Good luck, lads.